following is a UTV-44 sports production.
Friday night rivals. This is the UA Early College UTV-44 Game of the Week. Sponsored by Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets winners of 24 straight in the region, 23 straight regular season wins. Tonight taking on an opponent that goes all the way back to 1956, the Theodore Bobcats. They need a win and maybe some help to get into the postseason, while McGill looking to secure yet another region championship here in 7A. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partners, as always, Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett. And Dan, you talk about McGill and they keep going. People at the beginning of the year might have thought, oh, you know, they lost so much, rebuilding year, yet we come in, they're undefeated as we head into week 9 of the season.
They lost 19 seniors from that state finalist team last year, including a really great quarterback, right? But they've got some kids on campus ready to go, including the quarterback that they've got right now, who's done a great job in leading them to this point. Again, undefeated. His name is Sheldon Lehman. He's a kind of a sneaky good athlete. He's also thrown, that's the stats from last week, but for the whole season, over 60%, over 1,000 yards, and nearly 300 yards rushing the football, too. So the kid can play, the kid can lead.
He's led up to a 8-0 start so far this season, and if Theodore wants to get into the playoffs, they know it's not really a must-win tonight here, but they would like to get a win here tonight, so then they don't need help next week. It's as close as you can have, but if they're going to win here tonight, they got to have their big fella up front defensively taking care of Sheldon Lehman and others tonight.
Yeah, they need a defensive stand, and Tamarji Porter's that guy that plays the zero technique in that 3-4 scheme that they play. He's a space eater, big old guy. He takes up a lot of space so those linebackers could run around. Smart guy as well. He's got offers from Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. He's going to play in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, which he's just one of 3 players locally, I think, that's going to play in that game. He loves the swim technique. 2-gap, 1-gap, does it all. Takes up space is the main thing so those linebackers can run, and old Big 99 does a good job at that.
Theodore had a tough loss here on UTV-44 2 weeks ago against Murphy. Bounced back with a big win over a much-improved Alma Bryant team last week. But they need a win tonight to keep those playoff hopes really going alive, while McGill, again, trying, I think, their biggest thing, maybe not looking forward to that big matchup next week against Fairhope, which maybe you'll see here on UTV-44. Cooking up a good one tonight here at the Lip. McGill-Toolen and Theodore, just 2 weeks to go in the regular season. Rainy night here in Mobile. Just started to come down about 10 minutes ago, really hard here at the Lip, and we're ready to get this one underway. 7A Region 1 matchup. Theodore on the road taking on McGill-Toolen. The Bobcats will kick off. Marcus Lynn, the kicker, and back deep to receive Khalil Nettles, also Eric Guerrer, and rounding out the 3 men back deep, Oakley, making Jennings Clayton back for the Yellow Jackets.
Practice with some wet footballs this week because it's going to be a little wet and slick tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of just not raining very hard, you know, most of the pregame, and then about 10 minutes ago, it really started coming down. And that's where we're at now, is Lynn with a high short kick to the far side at the 32. And at the 40-yard line is where McGill will have good field position to start. And let's go down and welcome in the 4th member of our broadcast crew on the sidelines, Tara Reeves. Good evening, Tara.
Good evening, Jim. Now, on paper, it's easy to say that McGill is the strong favorite in tonight's matchup. In their last 5 games, they've outscored their opponents by double digits. Defensively, they're only allowing an average of 9 points a game. And then here at the Lip, guys, they have not lost a game since November of 2014. So I asked Coach Collier where he felt his team would have the upper hand in tonight's game in an effort to try and end their undefeated streak. He said it's simple: field position. We have to do well on special teams to give our offense great field position, while at the same time limit McGill's special teams so they can't start at their own 20. But of course, Coach Hill and his team are looking for their 24th consecutive regular season win, so we'll see how the chips fall.
Yeah, and just like that, field position already playing a role in this game as McGill starts at the 39, and Brian Hill takes this one for a long injury attorney's first down all the way up to the 45 of Theodore to start this one.
He's a no-nonsense kid. I can't imagine where he got that from.
Second play from scrimmage. Lehman will hand it off. Hill again with a hole, and he's going to be close to another first down as he's up to the 35-yard line, and I believe he's going to have it. So 2 carries, 2 first downs, 2 long injury attorneys first downs. There's Ernest Hill in his first year here, 8-0, was the defensive coordinator under Caleb Ross. Also was a head coach at Greenville, spent 3 years up there. Replaced Ben Blackman, who left Greenville to go down to Gulf Shores. And at the 35, the Yellow Jackets on the move and right back to Hill. And there's Tamaje Porter in there to slow things down, and a gain of 1. And also some help there from Michael Washington, the defensive end. McGill-Toolen up front. Siebert, Walker, Simpson, Ram, and Brady. They'll rotate 7 or 8 players in on that offensive line. Coach Hill told us that in the pregame. Wide receivers, Workman, C.J. Evans, also Turner McLaughlin, kind of some tight end. They'll split him out wide as well. Clayton Jennings and Kendall White. We'll also see Bo Hightower in there as well. Brian Hill, the running back, 641 yards coming into tonight. He's added to that 7 touchdowns. And Sheldon Lehman, the quarterback that Dan talked about during the pregame show. 2nd and 9. Motion, C.J. Evans takes the pitch, and Evans around the right side. He's all the way down inside the 15, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal coming up here for the Yellow Jackets. But there's a flag. We'll bring it back all the way up at the 37 on the far side.
Might have been motion.
Yeah, he did. He was lined up wide and then came in, so it was going to be a...
Wow.
Let's listen in. It's an illegal formation. Let's see if we can get the referee's mic coming at us. So wipes out a big...
Yeah, that's the only thing
game.
it could be, I think. You know, they probably lined up, covered up the tight end or something, you know. Didn't have enough men on the line, not enough men in the backfield to formation.
And McGill takes a timeout.
Now, what's unfolding here to me, you know, that's the risk of running that little pop kick. They gave them great field position. And this is one of the things about this football game is we're going to see all night. Usually McGill doesn't hurt themselves,
Never,
and you don't want to help them as well.
Yeah.
In this case, it helped them, looks like, as it unfolds here.
And
we'll see if they get points off.
It looks like they don't need much help.
No, they do not need much help, and you don't want to give them an assist.
Right, and from scrimmage, especially the plays where they had the penalty, Jim, they did exactly whatever they wanted to do.
Up front, that 3-man front, Washington, who's played well, 9 tackles last week in the win. Tamaje Porter, that Vic talked about. Jaden McCants, the sophomore on the outside. Linebackers that Coach Collier really likes. Williams, the junior. Cribb steps into the starting lineup this week. Demouy Kennedy, the other sophomore, 32. Keep your eye on him. And Colton Higgins, the junior. And then also Faison Locke, Cameron Brown in the secondary. Tyrone Hill and Keyshawn Gatson. And I'm not sure that McGill didn't take that timeout because Coach Hill wants a clarification on that penalty, because he maybe say, no, that we had a legal formation.
Yeah, he probably is, and he's thinking this is a formation that we come out of a lot.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be penalized every time, even before the snap happens, we're in violation, we need to get this straight. And he is not happy with whatever the answer was for the reply. He's not real pleased with it.
And you know, Coach Ernest Hill is one of the, I would say, least demonstrative coaches you see on the sidelines. He's very even keel the whole game, and so to see him get a little animated, you know that he vehemently disagrees with whatever he was just told.
This is a little thing too. I like the way McGill runs from the timeout
To the line of scrimmage,
just kind of go. Yeah, ready, set, go, and making sure Theodore is aware that here we come.
2nd and 15.
It's all window dressing.
Turner McLaughlin lined up to the bottom of the screen. Colton Higgins showing blitz. And I wonder if the play clock isn't working here, because it did not run down. It was not on, so that was from the field they called delay a game.
Wow, that's a tough call.
And maybe that's why McGill was sprinting out there trying to
Well, you know, this quarterback's pretty sharp, so he usually keeps an eye on this thing.
Yeah,
And this team is usually setting out of a timeout. That's bad.
2nd and 20. And the handoff to Hill, and now Hill going to be stood up there. Porter is in there and got some help as well from Colton Higgins.
Yeah, he tried to go around the mountain, but the mountain wouldn't move.
No, he had ended up face
that
mask.
one right there.
Face mask to face mask with that guy, and that's not a good
Mount
situation.
Porter, you need to get your hiking boots on.
Yeah, that was actually Mike Williams, the other junior linebacker who came in there to help out on that tackle. And so McGill goes from having 1st and goal to now 3rd and 20. Lehman drops back, has lots of time, fires over the middle of the field, wide open. He's able to get that one complete, and it's down to the 20-yard line. It's going to be a first down as Bo Hightower, the junior, with his 10th catch of the year. What a throw by Lehman in 3rd and 20. They complete it to the 21. And a long injury attorney's first down.
You know, notice Lehman's feet when he was in the pocket, just the way he bounced around a little bit. And he had a big pocket to throw from.
Yeah, he had a clean pocket. Gave the receiver time to uncover, and he did.
25-yard completion, and now they'll look for more again. C.J. Evans stood up with a gain of 1. It was Cameron Brown, the junior corner, coming up to make the stop.
Nice job by him to fight through the block. They were trying to get some blocking over there. Some kind of screen there. The other receiver was blocking for his fellow receiver, but he fought through that and said, hey, I'm going to make this play.
2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Brian Hill in the backfield with Lehman. Sheldon Lehman wants to keep it on the left side, and Lehman inside the 10. He's in for the touchdown. 3rd rushing touchdown of the year for Sheldon Lehman, and Dan said he can run it a bit too in the pregame show, and right there he sells the fake and takes it 21 yards for the touchdown.
Well, Dan, you saw it. It was clear as day. He made the good read there to pull his football. He's reading somebody there coming upfield, and he saw that lane to the backside, and he just slipped out the back door, turned on his jets.
You always look faster when everybody's running the other way.
Untouched for the touchdown, and Charles Mahler will try to make it 7-0. And McGill-Toolen takes the opening drive, takes advantage of the good field position. They go 61 yards, they get the score, and they lead Theodore 7-0 on the UTV 44 Game of the Week.
Plenty of items, homecoming t-shirts, Noah's Landing, women's Christmas.
Good night for poncho sales. This
First stadium I've been into, they allow umbrellas. Father must said, let them have dryness under there, huh?
So McGill takes the opening drive. Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary there, 7 plays, 61 yards, and got slowed up by a couple of penalties and really not much else. That was if you're Eric Collier saying that was too easy for McGill on that first series.
The rain was not affecting the team in orange.
Well, I think next year they're going to put in the budget for a retractable roof.
Mahler,
ready for that.
who does like he usually does and sends this one into the end zone as Keyshawn Gatson was there to try to chase it down, but again, such a wet, Tara talked about field position on the first hit. So now you got McGill starts at the 39, and here you go, Theodore starting at their own 20.
Yeah, against a really good defense.
And McGill shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, but still ended up getting points off the drive. After the assist from Theodore, giving them the good field position on the kickoff.
I think we were both a little surprised how easy that 3rd down conversion was on the 3rd and 20.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you call there, Coach Dan?
Hightower wide open over the middle, and they only brought 3.
You see Coach Collier here in his 5th year. He's a head coach at Bryant as well, and stumbling was Roy Tukes. As soon as he took the handoff, he had 3 touchdowns last week against Bryant. This Theodore Bobcat offense, 31 points last week. North, Smith, Johnson, Owens, and Reed. The offensive line for the Bobcats. They've got some receivers on the outside, including Hunter Tillman, who can go up and get after it. Fabian Williams there. Also Matt Davis, big tight end in the starting lineup. Jordan O'Neal, 6'3", 175, and only 6 catches on the year. They don't throw it to the backside of the backfield much. Tukes, as we get a pre-snap flag here, but Trevor Andrews, he also can pull it down, and he's rushed for 8 touchdowns tonight. Big kid, 8 touchdowns on the year, 6'2", 185 pounds, good-looking
Well, one
specimen.
way Theodore's going to move the ball
Dead
is
ball.
get 12 men on the field.
False start.
That'll
Not
help
enough
you.
men. Too many men on the field.
It'll help you
Offense.
if they don't see it.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Not much get by Joey there.
No.
So they had 12 and 11. Jordan O'Neal heads off. And you can hear the rain hitting our microphones down there on the field. 2nd and 15.
And suddenly we have turned into Seattle South.
Yeah, you don't.
My rain gauge has been busy this year at the house. I know
No
that.
kidding.
2nd and 15.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. It's not a small craft advisory. The large craft's
Look at-
okay.
Look at McGill showing blitz. Williams goes in motion. Now they drop out of it. Andrews rolls out, fires it up, tipped and completed as Fabian Williams gets the tip and the catch as it went off the hands of Matt Davis. Big tight end, couldn't hold that one down, but Fabian Williams with good ball awareness, able
Well,
to pull
that
it down. And
usually ends up in disaster
Yeah,
for
you're
the
right.
offense when that ball gets tipped. Because let me tell you, every single day, even probably on Friday, they do the tip drill with those defensive backs. So
Yeah,
they
Ja'Cory
were very fortunate to retain that ball.
and Bennett was there, but not before it was grabbed by Williams. And 3rd and 5 here at the 26.
Williams had a good game in that Murphy game, and that
did.
double overtime loss.
Get a whistle.
Clock is stopped.
Okay. Now they'll get going here. You see big Ladarius Cox right in the middle, 6'5", 300 pounds. He'll clog things up much like Porter does for the Bobcats. Give on the right side and penetration and no gain on 3rd down.
Yeah, they pinched in from the ends over there on both sides, and
Ja'Cory.
man unblocked and with a back. And he's supposed to make the tackle, and he did.
Ja'Cory Lewis there, the one who made the stop, got in there and got a shoulder in there to disrupt it. Cox and McLean, they'll rotate 5 or 6 guys up front for Alex Page's defense. Trice, Ruggs, Heights, and Brady. And in the secondary, Bennett, Massey, Wilson, and Guerrer, and they are all ball hawks. Bad snap goes through the legs of Williams, and he's going to be brought down at the 11.
You know, I was concerned when they got in that formation. I was thinking it may go over his head and slip through his hands, but this time it just kind of got between his legs, and he wasn't able to handle the ball because it's slick out there and wet. And I don't know if the punter ever practiced wet ball drills.
So, and you know, you wonder, you know, was that because of a wet ball, or was it just a bad snap? You know?
Well, either one of them are going to use that as part of the excuse to the coach. I can assure you that.
I mean, a terrible start here if you're Theodore.
Yep.
You go 3 and out, you don't get the punt off, and now you're giving McGill 1st and goal from the 10. Brandon Burks out wide, and now in the backfield they give this one off to Nettles, and Khalil Nettles dives down inside the 5 to about the 3.
You know, that was a good tidbit that you guys shared about the rotation up front that Coach Hill mentioned. I think they've already started doing that. That's probably a big key to their success, you know, having this huge roster and getting, you know, 22 guys offensively ready to play. That's big. That's huge.
And he was talking about it in the pregame show. He said that offensive line, he said, I want them to play with a bit of an edge. And he said, and they really are right now. They got a little nastiness to them up front.
Yeah, and if you found, you know, 5 plus 3 reserves to play with that edge, good for you.
Hill in the back, and now a high snap goes off the hands of Sheldon Lehman. He picks it up all the way at the 20, and he's still on his feet, but now he's going to get brought back all the way to the 22-yard line. Michael Washington and Jade McCants, the sophomore, back there. Looked like Lehman might have had a chance, he thought, to make something happen here when he picked it back up.
Well, I tell you what, that center shot that ball back there with some authority, and I don't think he was expecting to get there so quickly with such velocity.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad snap in terms of where it was, but maybe it was a heater, and Lehman wasn't expecting that. But also looked like he took his eyes off it, like he assumed he had it.
So,
well, it's probably so routine for him.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you can get a little bit comfortable. Tonight is one of those nights you're going to pay attention to details.
Third and goal from the 22. Lehman again has time converted a 3rd and 20, but now it's going to run out as Michael Washington drops him all the way back to the 32-yard line, and they may be out of field goal position now. On a rainy night, a little bit of wind in your face, they'll mark it down to the 30, so it'd be a 47-yarder into the wind on a wet night. 4th and goal from the 30. This is unlike McGill-Toolen. You don't see them beat themselves, and Coach Collier talked about this, but what an opportunity here for Theodore to come out of this. They didn't keep out of the end zone here. They come out of 1st and goal at the 10 without allowing any points.
No doubt in Washington, he got off the bus ready to go.
He did.
Burks, big lanky receiver to the bottom of the screen. They got to get it into the end zone, and rolling out is Lehman. Pressure there from McCants, and McCants will get him to the sideline, and then he'll get finished off of the 30, and what a stop by the Theodore defense.
Not only do they keep McGill from scoring, they advance the ball 30 yards, basically 20 yards, I should say. Kennedy, the linebacker right there with the play in the end, but really this is a team sack, right? They had him surrounded, and there was not much he could do. Look at the big guy getting all the way sideline to sideline.
That is something for a big 300-pounder to get out there on that edge like there to harass the quarterback.
Yeah, so, yeah, McCants, the sophomore there, and then Dewey Kennedy, the sophomore, finished him off. And wow, what a bullet dodge by the Theodore Bobcats.
I think it says a lot about those 2 sophomores you were talking about. They've got some young talent on this team. They won't be maximizing what they can do yet. But, boy, watch these guys in a couple of years.
Williams goes in motion. They're going to get a flag, and they're going to say he was in motion
towards the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I thought they did that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, looked like Canadian Football League stuff. Let's go down to Tara. She's got a UA early college update for us. Tara.
I sure do, Jim. We're dry underneath this umbrella. I'm here with Antoine Bell. And for those who don't know, Antoine, what is UA Early College?
The UA Early College program allows high school students to have the opportunity to pick up college credits while they're still in high school. They can pick up as many as 30 college credits, which means that by the time they make it to the university level, they'll almost be in their junior year. So you can imagine how much that's an advantage for that student as well as their parents. They get to save a ton of money.
Absolutely. And then how do students take courses through the UA Early College program?
The courses are offered online, and then in the summertime, they can come to the campus down to UA to actually take the summer courses as well.
And as we're using this umbrella, we're going to tilt it back just a little bit because the rain seems to be drizzling on top of us. Okay, so you guys have a deadline approaching. Can you tell us about that, Antoine?
That deadline is coming up on Monday, on October the 30th. So if you any students that want to participate in the spring session of early college, they need to go ahead and get their information in, register right now to get that done.
And I'm sure we're going to have a number of students and, of course, parents and concerned grandparents wanting to take part in this. How do they apply, Antoine?
3 easy steps. First, the student will need to go to the UA Early College website and fill out the application to apply to the program. And then they would need their high school counselor there's a form they have to fill out as well as sending the transcripts over to UA Early College. And then they have to write a short essay and submit that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Antoine.
Thank you, Tara.
Back up to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Tara and Antoine. What a great program. I mean,
I was thinking the same thing.
Spectacular program. I mean, if you talk about the savings and the kids who are able to do that, I mean, just hats off to them, and thanks for being, again, a big part of high school football here on UTV 44, our friends at University of Alabama Early College.
It's a great program. It's a great message, and man,
it's the Alabama Crimson Tide.
There you go.
Let me just sum it up for you.
3rd and 9.
RTR, man.
That's right.
3rd and 9 from the 30. Andrews on the keeper and got to the 34, but not much more as it was bottled up in the middle as Nick Ruggs, the junior linebacker, there to make the stop.
Did a good job fighting through a block in this sloppy weather to make that tackle. But I tell you what, if you're putting the football in the air, these coaches have got some confidence in their quarterback at this point, because it is definitely a risk putting it out there in this rain like it is tonight. We've already seen some mishandling of the football. I think it's totally due to the weather.
And the weather's getting worse.
And it is getting worse.
Fabian Williams at the 20. This time a better snap. Pressure coming. And he got it off, and got off a good kick with the pressure on there and all the way down to the 27-yard line. Good job by Williams with the pressure was coming from Khalil Nettles and also from Jennings Clayton there as well. So Theodore able to flip the field little bit here on the Yellow Jackets. And looks like we'll get a TV timeout here with 3:39 to go in the opening quarter. 7-0. McGill has the lead and the ball on a wet one here tonight at the Lip. Vic Lockett was on the stadium board here. He'd outlaw the umbrellas and say, you know.
Well, you don't want to poke anybody's eye out that's behind you. Safety.
McGill-Toolen on first down here up to the 33-yard line. Marked with a 32, gain of 5 officially for Brian Hill.
And Brian looked in the middle and didn't like what he see, and he said, hey, I'll get out wide and see if I can get some yardage. Good decision.
I heard a whistle there, no?
I did too.
Lehman gives it off to Hill, trying to run to the near side. Pressure on, a great ankle tackle. Able to pull him down before he could get any further. Tyrone Hill, the senior safety.
Yeah, good job by Tyrone, just staying in his hip pocket, making him get wide. And when he decides to cut back, you got to cut right back into me.
And on a wet night,
yes,
tough to stay there. And you know, they always say the offensive guy, he knows where he's going. The defensive guy's got to react.
Yes, so you got to keep your knees bent, your hips sunk, so that you can react to those offensive players. Otherwise, tonight they're going to make some folks look silly.
3rd and 8. 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. Lehman comes back to the near side, and nothing doing there as Colton Higgins able to wrap up.
Yeah, good job by him. Sheldon Lehman tried to move the defense by looking over to his left and knowing all along, Dan, he was coming back to his right.
Yeah.
But that young man right there just read his keys and did what he's supposed to, Colton Higgins.
He knew it too.
Exactly.
They move Reese Jackson from DB over to wide receiver. He makes the reception there and then is shut down immediately by Higgins. And now Theodore with a chance to get some good field position. Hunter Tillman will stand back at his own 40. Jack Martin to punt. High kick. Tillman, fair catch, calls for it.
Nice job by that young man.
44, yeah, windy and slippery, but
with a crowd around him.
Yeah, and the rain in your eyes.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. All right, other games going on tonight. Fairhope, they're looking to match up against McGill next week, possibly for the region championship. It will be on the line. And Murphy and Davidson, a big one tonight at Ladd. Baker and Foley tonight. BC Rain and Spanish Fort. Robertsdale and Daphne. LaFleur and Baldwin County. Blunt down at Gulf Shores. St. Paul's taking on Faith Academy, and Jackson and Citronelle play tonight. Williamson with a big win last night on the road, 42-0. They beat Wilcox Central. UMS taking on Monroe County. Thomasville and Satsuma tonight. Excel and Hillcrest Evergreen. Nice to see JU Blackshear taking on Leroy tonight. And last night, Marengo and McIntosh met up on a Thursday night. And I'll give out to the 48-yard line. Roy Tukes.
Tukes like to stick it in there in between those tackles and make somebody pay for touching him.
He played well in that Murphy game.
That we did, yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
He's coming on.
Big bruising back. Picks up 3 there on first down.
He moved in from Louisiana. I believe his family moved here from Louisiana, so he's not a Theodore native, and they're starting to see some dividends with him.
Tillman goes in motion. They give it off to Tukes, and he tries to go up the middle. And again, it's Nick Ruggs, the first one in there, the linebacker from McGill. There's not much between the tackles early on for Theodore here, Vic.
No, that big Ladarius Cox in there clogging things up.
Tukes lost his helmet at the end of that play.
Well, I say that about Cox. They may be giving him a break right now. I don't see him out there.
I think if he was out there, you'd know it, right?
You would be aware. They got Tamel Kennedy out there subbing for him, and he's doing his impression of Ladarius Cox making some plays.
Sawyer Brady there on the tackle. He played in the secondary last year and moved up to linebacker.
Ate himself that way, you imagine?
He's now up to 5'11", 180. 3rd and 4 for the Bobcats. Rolling out is Andrews, wants to go downfield. Even to the far side, wants to try to get that one off to Fabian Williams, and it's incomplete.
I'm thinking, how many times have we seen a quarterback let it go and then get smacked by a Yellow Jacket through the years? They send people at the quarterback. They never want you to feel comfortable back there. They're gonna,
bees like to sting, don't they?
I'm telling you, and they do a good job of it.
Jacorian Bennett with a good single coverage. So 3rd and 4. You take the long shot downfield and come away empty, and now you'll punt it from midfield. And the ever-dangerous Eric Gare stands back at about the 12 on what will be the last play. It's blocked! Blocked to the near side with great pressure coming in, and McGill is going to have it at the 31-yard line. It might have been Khalil Nettles, maybe. Let's see who got in. I think it's going to be 27. Michael Hartley. There's a flag. Theodore, but that's at the end of the play.
Really special right there. I mean, he just takes it right off the foot of the punter, and that's what you're taught. Then he tries to scoop it up. He doesn't want to lay on it because regardless, it's going to be loss of down.
It was Khalil Nettles who got the block. McGill, who has 2 punt returns for touchdowns and a blocked TD for a touchdown in the last 3 weeks. Unsportsmanlike penalty at the end of the play.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that was my guy, Anthony Garrett there, the side judge that threw that flag, and he's really such a super nice guy, Dan. To make him upset, you must have done something really ill-advised. Well, great guy, goes to the church. Hardly ever see him without a smile on his face.
All right, so it will go against McGill. Goes all the way back. We've lost our referee, Mike, in the rain here, and I don't know if they'll play a... Are we at the end of the quarter? Remember when we had
I think we are at the end of the quarter.
We had the untimed down in the same situation in Theodore a couple weeks ago.
And I think we're on.
All right, we are through one. McGill 7-0 with the lead, and they got, after the block punt, good field position at the 45-yard line. Second quarter action coming up after this. Beautiful night for high school football here in Mobile, Alabama.
Absolutely. The umbrellas are up. Players are on the field. Not too hot, not too humid.
Students don't need umbrellas. McGill student section. They're
Happy to be here.
So after the block punt, Khalil Nettles with the block, and McGill has it at the 45 of the Bobcats. Lehman rolls out. Pressure coming now. He rolls back again to the near side, able to get this one out. C.J. Evans up the near sideline, and Evans speeds up to the 30. We'll see where they knock him out of bounds. Going to knock him out to the 33. That's going to be good for another long injury attorney's first down.
And what made it good was Turner McLaughlin over there giving him a block that gave him an extra 20, 15 yards. You ought to see it right here in the picture. He lines up there tight end, and he goes out wide. Good job by the quarterback to spin around and keep his eyes downfield. And there's the block right there that springs him.
These kids play every play.
They do.
That's what McGill
Till the
does.
whistle blows.
Clear
Even
night,
in the rain.
Clear night, rainy night, doesn't matter.
At the 33, Lehman to Hill, kind of dances, and not much there on the inside. He'll get one.
Again, that mountain.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, not just him, but I've been impressed with this Theodore front seven. They've flashed in some plays where they've played very well.
But we saw it against Murphy. Coach Collier seems to have them all on the same sheet of music, and they don't give up much. They will on occasion, but for the most part in the game, they play on the same page, and good gap responsibility.
Kendall Cribbs, the sophomore, in there to help out on the tackle. Lehman looks, pressure again from the backside, and he's going to be hit and dropped down. Nowhere to go, and against the sophomore, Demouy Kennedy.
Uh-oh. I hope he's okay. This kid is going to be, he might be a really good player in a couple of years.
You hate to see him doing that.
Oh, that's not good. Oof.
I'll tell you what, you were talking about how good Theodore plays, and, you know, I've seen some exoticness, I'll say, out of them as well on their blitzes and alignments. So right here it pays off, I think, because the coverage was just there and he had no one down the field. And
going for the strip sack too.
Yeah, let's see how he comes down. If we could.
Boy,
it looks pretty pedestrian tackle.
And you know, he got up. It took, you know, a step, and then you could tell he was in enormous pain, but it didn't
look bad.
No.
Sometimes those are the worst. Good sportsmanship by the rest of his teammates there, taking a knee for the injured.
He was a player that, good to see him up.
Man, that's good.
Yeah, he was a player that Coach Collier signaled out to us before the Murphy game on the field and said, look at 32 right there. He said he's going to be really something special, just a sophomore, and flashed it there on that play.
Yeah, he's got good size. He's rangy, so he's going to fill out. He's 190 now. Imagine by the time they get him all weight roomed and training tabled up best they can in Theodore, he's going to be a great-looking prospect.
Absolutely. They've got talent there. We pointed it out in that Murphy game, and it showed in that Murphy game as well.
It did. Even though a disappointing loss.
Workman, Jennings, Clayton, along with Bo Hightower, McLaughlin, the wide receivers out of the backfield. They'll float this one out to Hill. Hill makes one man miss at the 40, 3rd and 16, but he won't get it completed, or won't get it converted. He's down to the 29, but now you got 4th and a little more manageable here.
One-on-one out there at the back, and he did a great job. That ball seemed to take forever to get there, but he didn't take his eyes off of it. Patient enough to wait and look it in. Collects the football, makes a move on a defender, and gets his team in better position down there.
Thought that ball was lofted in such a trajectory that he wasn't going to have time to make a move, but he was.
He did.
Just in time, and watch it right there.
Yeah, able to get around Fazian Locke, the senior, now 4th and 6.
That's what's expected of those backs. If you're out there one-on-one, you can't be tackled by one man.
McGill will go for it. Play clock at 5. And they'll snap it at 2. And here we go. Lehman steps up in the pocket, looking to run for it. Gets away from Porter, and he's going to have the first down inside the 20. That's a long injury attorney's first down. And Cameron Brown finally made the stop, but Sheldon Lehman again showing off the good wheels to get the first down.
Yeah, what Cameron did really good was he was all the way back here, but he knew he didn't want to give him the outside, so he takes away that outside right there, then sticks his shoulder pad in it. Probably would like him to wrap up, but he did a good job and did as well as he could, I think, on that play.
So a 3rd and 20 and a 4th and 6 now converted by McGill so far here in the first half.
Coach Carr's got his defense playing good position.
New set of downs. Lehman on the quarterback draw, trying to get to the right side. Got away from Washington and then takes a big hit at the 11-yard line.
He gets up like he gave the hit. I want to watch that all over again.
A little moxie out of the quarterback. You like that.
Flag at the 15. It's going to be a hold against McGill. Let's see if we can see it be on the right side of your screen. Yep, I think you saw a handful of jersey there. Patrick Siebert had it on Jaden McCants.
He did get whacked at the end of that one.
Hey, but he claps his hands and say, hey, this is football. I'm going to line up and come right back at you.
So the replay first down. It'll be 1st and 18 where the spot was. And this, again, we apologize. Our referee's microphone got compromised in the rain, and they're trying to fix it down in the truck and get it back out so we can have that. Lehman looks, now comes to the near side, zips it off, went through his progressions and to the 15-yard line, able to get that one complete as Zach Workman used the 16th catch of the year.
He did a good job. I mean, he was looking far to his right there and didn't like what he's seen over there. He says, I got 2 other options over here to my left, and turns his head, sets his feet, and zings it in there, Dan.
Yeah. And he bounces on those feet again before he does set them. Yeah, he's got good feet and good vision.
He's been to QB country, huh? Let's give a shout out to our guy.
He's got all the signs.
If not, he'll get an invitation now, huh?
2nd and 8 for the Yellow Jackets. Hill on the right side looking for some blockers in front. He'll gain a few and the ball gets loose. Recovered by McGill. Wow, ball came out, and we'll see if they say, I think they're going to say maybe he was down before Charles Walker. Charles didn't get a chance to get the ball in his hands all that often.
Yeah, it did just kind of snuck out of there. I thought the play was over, and they officials agree with me.
Yeah, they say it was
a good hustle by Walker, though, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know,
one of those fresh linemen, huh?
And, you know, this is not a McGill team that's turnover prone at all. Matter of fact, I don't think Hill's fumbled the ball. Yeah. If you're Theodore, you think, man, they're giving us a chance here tonight by being a little un-McGill-like so far here to start the game.
Yeah, and and God is looking after them with the weather. I think this kind of evens the field out a little bit more for Theodore.
McGill.
The weather plays in their favor.
Third down coming up, and I think McGill, Zach Dolson, offensive coordinator, seeing how it's a big third and 3 here from the 12, and say, all right, we're going to take a timeout.
There's plenty of hot dogs, hamburgers, cold drinks, even snow cones.
Our UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44, brought to you by the University of Alabama Early College. Just heard all about that. Antoine and Tara tell you about that, and go check that out online. Really a cool program. Especially you got kids in high school. I mean, man, you can knock a few years off the tuition bill.
Nice.
I'm sure the parents are in favor of that.
Yeah. No kidding.
And if you're a student, you say, hey, I've already got 2 years knocked. I can spend 4 years good filling up those last 2 years, right? Enjoy the
Take
college
a couple
life.
of basket weaving classes.
Yeah. I took wiffle ball twice. I took it twice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wiffle ball
that got me through college.
102.
Yes. How to hit the slurve. That's what it was. So 3rd and 3 from the 12.
They love their high school football all over South Alabama, including here at McGill, but this is what this weather and the threat of more of this weather has done to tonight's crowd, because this place is generally packed every Friday night that they're home.
Yeah, all the way, every game of seeing that. We've been texting other people and asking how the crowds were and saying way down at every game tonight.
Yep. It's just not good weather at all, and like I say, the threat of more coming.
Yeah, it's supposed to get worse as the night goes on.
Yeah.
So here we go from the 12, 8.5 to go, 7-0 McGill. They scored on their first possession. Looking to add to it here. Lehman trying to bounce out to the outside, and again, great job. That's Demouy Kennedy in there after the injury, and he was able to stand uphill, and now they'll bring out the field goal team.
Yeah, they just tried to run the stretch play there and hoping something would pop open there. But, like we've talked about, man, Theodore was playing on the same sheet of music, good gap responsibility. They shut that thing down. I mean, it was just a wall for them to go through.
And you're talking about what they're doing schematically, Vic, and what I'm seeing, too, is they're competing.
Yeah.
And you can put them in the right place.
Sure.
But are they going to face their guy and compete? And
you got to whoop some folks at the line of scrimmage, right?
That, yeah.
Mahler's got 9 field goals on the year, looks for 10. This will be from 30 yards. And he pushed it to the right. Did it sneak in? No.
Yeah, the snap was a little bit high, but very manageable, I thought.
Yeah, had a good angle on that one and pushed it to the right. And so McGill stays just on top, 7-0. And Theodore will get the ball back. But now, if you're Theodore, you got to get something going offensively. You really have done nothing on the offensive side of the ball so far in your first 2 possessions. You got to move the chains a little bit here.
Yeah, you do, just to keep that defense off the field too, and maybe at least flip field position a little bit, not give McGill a great start to their drive.
In the backfield, they give this off to Devontae Washington, and the junior gets it out to about the 27-yard line. And let's send it down to Tara. She's got another Coastal Alabama Community College Educator Spotlight. Tara.
I'm joined with Theodore principal Chip Minton, who was actually a former coach here at McGill. But let's focus on Theodore right now. You guys have a lot going on with your fine arts, correct?
Yes, we do. Our art program has really grown, ROTC. We're trying to get a lot for everybody at the school and give them an opportunity. So we're very pleased with how our kids are getting involved in different activities we have and winning awards. Our art program is one of the best around.
Awesome. Really creative bunch over there at Theodore. And then let's also talk about the ROTC.
Well, our ROTC has really grown in the last couple of years. We're getting up over close to 200 kids in ROTC, which is great, and they represent us well, and everywhere they go, they do a fine job of representing Theodore High School.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chip. Back up to you, Jim.
Dan, we've known Chip a long time. Coached at Baker and BC Rain, I think, Shaw. Maybe there's been a bunch of places, but we saw him before when we were out at Theodore before the game, and he couldn't talk enough about how great this football team does in the classroom.
Yeah, it was really impressive, and you could tell that he was proud, and he had a lot of affection for these kids too, for what they do in the school, in the hallway, in the classroom, and of course on the field.
3rd and 3, they bring Tukes back in. And they'll give it to him, and Tukes is met at the line of scrimmage, but he lunges forward, and he's going to keep battling, and he's going to have a Theodore long injury attorney's first down.
Here's how we do it in New Orleans. That's what he's saying.
Louisiana guy keeping his legs pumping and going and struggling and bustling and knocking through tackles.
That's what I'm talking about right there, Vic. I'm seeing some fight in Theodore. And you got a nickname, the Bobcats. You live up to that, you're going to fight somebody. And watch this right here.
He got away from Nick Ruggs, who had great penetration. And he's able to convert. And now up to the 33. Trevor Andrews. Give to the 35-yard line. And
those holes seem to close quickly.
Yeah, you're not going to get much on McGill. You'll get them a couple of times, but usually there's not methodical drives that they suffer.
Jimmy Haywood in at running back there, he carried the ball a lot early in the season. We didn't see him much in that Murphy game, and now we got
one of the Theodore players down. Hopefully,
boy, you know, I think
nothing
it's
too serious.
Ashton Johnson, the center, and boy, at a night like this, really get concerned about the loss of.
You know, and he got caught on the outside of his knee. And, you know, it's ironic. I was just watching him play, Jim. I want you to notice, prayerfully he gets back in there, or even they may continue with the backup, how they snap the football. It's not anything you see on Sunday. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just how they do it in high school.
That's the worst kind when you just get you don't see it coming and you get rolled into.
Yeah,
and it happens quite often to linemen. That's why a lot of times you see them wearing those braces to protect that.
You think that way back you saw a guy with a brace and you said he's had an injury, but
often they're preventative now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you see. Boy, on Saturday or Sunday you rarely see anyone that doesn't have one on.
Right. But that was not fun to watch. And he is. Hopefully no big damage there.
Yeah, worst we could hope is some kind of stretch there, sprain.
And the poor young man, it happened all the way at the near hash, and he's got to go all the way across the field. Oof.
And we'll see the backup come in and next man up.
Yep, so
I'm saying a prayer for that young man that went off, though, for sure.
I don't have a 77 on my Theodore roster. Pitch to Tukes on the near side, and you know he's not going to step out of bounds to avoid contact.
He got bumped out of bounds, but you're right. This kid, he's coming at you. He competes.
Running that simple Georgia sweep there, dotting the I.
They were doing that when I showed up as a freshman many years ago. They still
Those
do.
Leather helmets, right?
They guy named Willie McClendon way back in the day, and then Walker, and then on you go.
Got a McGill alumni, Mike Rogers, checking in, watching the game on UTV 44 tonight. So hello to Mike and Kay, watching a little high school football on a rainy Friday night.
Can't blame him with this weather. He'd probably be here otherwise.
3rd and 3 for the Bobcats. Andrews again to Tukes on the right side, and Tukes drops the shoulder going against Ruggs again. They throw the flag, and that's going to be a hold. And boy, would have had the first down.
Quick little counter trade there, trying to get him around his end.
I just saw again, watching these kids compete on the edge. McGill was competing like crazy.
As usual.
Yeah, and trying to, set the edge. So they kind of saw what was coming, and maybe that's where the hold came in.
Yeah, the Bobcats were trying to move the edge.
And watch, it's almost after Tukes is past the, past where it would have happened, but Tukes and Ruggs battling there. So it was at the 40. They'll back him all the way up to the 30. Bring up a 3rd and 3rd. So they'll mark it. Actually, they'll say it was at the 41. So they'll mark it back to the 31. 3rd and 12, and wow, just here comes the hardest rain we've seen all night.
A bit of a monsoon they're in, huh? It's fun to play in this with no lightning, especially at night.
3rd and 12.
Take your word.
Yep, Andrews zips it to the near side, and that's incomplete.
I think it's fun to throw and catch it in this kind of weather, right?
Well, if they catch it, you sure punish them if they don't see you. Yeah, it is really coming down now in droves. It's raining bees and bobcats.
Fabian Williams, punt Gare back. Now Gare has a shield on, like we talked about looking up into the rain, Dan. That was a great point you brought up. More pressure coming from Khalil Nettles and not a great kick.
Yeah, he took a little bit off.
Did it hit? Ooh, very close to hitting McGill players. Ruggs was there. That was very close. The officials have not said yet. They're going to say it's McGill football. Boy, Ruggs was very close to that ball. Let's watch here. No, nope. Don't think it hit him.
Never got to him. Maybe the foot there, but.
No, Williams able to recover it down it there for the Bobcats. 4 minutes to go in the second. 7-0. Theodore trailing McGill, and Yellow Jackets will have the ball in good field position coming up after this. All right, Lockett, how about playing the drums in the rain? How's that?
Don't know much about the band other than what they sound like.
Hey,
this group sounds good.
Jim Cox, Dan Bredin, Vic Lockett, Daniel Hicks, our statistician, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas. He's all dry in the truck. You know, he's got his crew out here working.
And we had a picture.
And you're pretty wet yourself here up here, Jim. Well, you're braving the elements.
I'm
the picture of the loneliest fan in the world right there going into break.
And he bought that seat on StubHub when the weather was good earlier this week and was promised it was going to be a great seat. Could have walked up and,
couldn't resell it?
Yeah.
It looked good online.
That's right. There he is, right there. So, first down from the 48 of the Bobcats.
That's for McGill-Toolen. McGill fan base. Rain or sleet or snow. Tell you what, they'll probably have that. I promise you, they'll have that retractable roof in the budget next year, based off tonight, especially if it costs them the football game.
Khalil Thomas in the backfield. He's had a big night. Had that block punt. Now he checks in, and he'll do a shift to the near side, and Lehman gives it off again to Thomas, trying to get there, and great penetration. That's
the big
Tamaje Porter with the stop.
You have to double him if you're going to get him now. Looks like he's probably one gap in that thing right there, running that slant.
If you're just joining us, Porter being looked at by a lot of SEC schools. Vanderbilt really hot after him. He's just as
good student,
solid in the classroom as he is there at defensive tackle.
And he's had a good year. He's getting looked at and offered very, very early.
Sophomore,
That's all that perspective thing, where he hasn't produced yet, but they like what they see and like what they project.
3rd and 10, and Theodore was not happy what they had in their alignment there, and now McGill able to convert. Is Hill able to get it? Keyshawn Gatson, the safety, was jumping up around back there. He didn't like it, and he made the tackle, but he didn't like how they were aligned, and a 3rd and 10 conversion for a long injury attorney's first down for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, he was imploring his fellow safety to slide over, and as they were adjusting, the ball started coming towards him, and he said, I just got to make this play.
Yep, Gatson knows what he's talking about. He's his 3rd year as a starter back there.
Hill, a little stutter step in the backfield, and now he's down to the 15, and that's going to be good for another long injury attorney's first down, and that's going to be a 15-yarder on McGill, I believe, as you saw Philip Rem kind of continuing on there, and then right at the end of the play.
Yeah, a little lay action there after the ball snapped.
On the left side of your screen.
Ball blown dead.
Yeah, it's way late. Way late.
And again, McGill. So they had 1st and 10 at the 15, but now this is going to back them all the way up to the 30.
There's one more sin for the confessional right there.
Well, I tell you,
I hit a guy late and it cost us 15 yards.
I knew who he's not going to want to face is his relative K-Rim. Boy, she will undress you in a minute, and she loves these McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets, and she certainly don't want her relatives backing them up. So I'm sure she's going to give a conversation with him later on.
All right, actually
this weekend.
My mistake, going to back McGill all the way back up to the 39-yard line. It was it was a dead ball foul, so it'll be 1st and 10. But they're backed up to the 39. Lehman looks things over with approaching 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Lehman again to Hill, and Hill kind of tripped up his own lineman there. Got him as Tamaje Porter was matched up on the left side.
And he done his job. What he did is just made a stalemate, extended his arms there on the offensive guy.
Push Brady back. And
yeah, just waiting to football to show, and then he's planning on dropping him and getting the tackle. Didn't have to, though.
2nd and 9. Hill tries to get away from Porter. He does now. He wants to get away from Kennedy, but the sophomore had him momentarily and slowed him down enough that he was finally brought down by Reggie Malone, another sophomore for this Theodore defense.
Again, Tamaje Porter in there causing havoc, making the back have to redirect as soon as he get the handoff. He's not going to run you down now. Tamaje's not going to run a 4-4 and get these backs, but he's going to make them redirect, and he's got his compadres there to help him out and ball him up.
Even if he just gets the back running parallel to the line of scrimmage, that's a win.
Yeah, this penetration right there.
Yeah.
Cuts through there and just uses his right arm to get the offensive lineman off of him, and then the back has to go wide.
And they've got enough speed on this Theodore defense. Once he gets you running side to side, they've got a pretty good chance of catching you.
McGill not in a big hurry here. They've got 1 timeout left. 3rd and 6. Play clock, not going to get it off. And let's see if they got a timeout. Let's look and see if a flag was dropped. It looked like the play clock had hit 0, but Zach Dolson, the offensive coordinator, I believe, did get a timeout.
Yeah, he was imploring Anthony Garrett over there on that sideline. That sideline judge got it for him and saved a loss of yardage.
That's a big save of 5 yards there.
You know, it's 3rd down with 40 seconds left on the clock going into the half.
And
they'd like to get some more points to give themselves a little bit of a buffer.
And McGill will have it.
In the second half?
Theodore will get it to start the second half.
Okay.
But it's, you know, this game is, Theodore's defense has taken advantage of some miscues by McGill, but this Theodore defense has really played lights out after that first drive.
They've taken advantage of some McGill problems, and they've caused some McGill problems, and a lot of that's got to do with that penetration, and a lot of that has got to do with the guy right in the middle, Dan Porter.
Yep. And you've talked about it all night. You know, we're seeing Theodore compete at the line of scrimmage. At the point of attack, they are fighting and playing, and I'm not surprised. I saw good things out of this group when they played Murphy in the loss. And I will say, you know, I do think the weather is playing in Theodore's favor to kind of even the board out a little bit more against this very talented, very high-ranked, very well coached McGill-Toolen football team.
Now, think about your McGill here. If you convert and being out of timeouts, then you got to really be cautious to make sure you call a play that's out of bounds or incomplete, so maybe you have a chance to get a field goal unit on the team as the half winds on the field.
Out of timeouts,
yeah. Remember, they took one just a minute into the game, and they give it Khalil Nettles on the right side, and Nettles is going to have a first down. The ball pops loose. Wow.
A lot on that play, huh? Only Jim Cox could illustrate it with his voice to
all the way down.
Paint it out, all of that went on there, because it was a lot going on, and it took a northerner like Jim Cox to have the speed, the cadence to keep up with everything that happened there.
Many great Southern announcers, Dick Lockett.
They don't move that fast with their voice, though.
So that was the hit that knocked it loose. And then a good job by Zach Workman to get on that ball. And so a long injury attorney's first down, and the clock is running, and now Sheldon Lehman will
dirt it, as you like to say.
Spike it here at the 18-yard line.
Well, rainy as it is, we'll say muddy.
Yeah, the ball's going to be a little, he's going to turf it here. And now Theodore's defense needs one more stop here tonight. Again, McGill had it 1st and goal at the 10 on the second series of the game and got pushed all the way back to the 30-yard line and came away with no points. They also missed a field goal. Lehman, time in the pocket, looks to the right side, fires, and that one incomplete.
Well defended by Theodore. This time they got their safeties lined up, Dan.
I saw
and then they had folks up front, and then they rocked everybody over to the 3-receiver side. Wasn't nothing for him to throw to, so he said, hey, there's one-on-one over there, so I'm going to see if my guy can compete and get the football. But he was off target.
I was looking for the middle of the field, Jim, and they had that
covered
that
as well.
up.
They looked up that tight end.
So now they'll bring out Chase Mahler on and try the field goal on 3rd down with 20 seconds to go. This will be a 35-yard attempt from the far hash. Mahler 0 for 1 tonight. And this one is good.
All kinds of penetration, but he's got it through there to give his team a little bit of buffer like he was looking for. 3 points. Of course, they'd love to have 7, but they'll take the 3.
Boy, and a night like this, you'll take those points anytime you can get them, especially you've seen
any
the ball.
amount.
I mean, you've seen McGill put the ball on the ground a couple of times here tonight, which uncharacteristic. And so, hey, cash in the 3 points there and kick off with 14 seconds left to go and get a little dry. Try to dry the shoes off a bit, right, Vic Lockett?
Well, this McGill group, they may put on a whole different uniform. Put on some dry ones and new shoes.
Well, Theodore's offense, the onus is on them a little bit because the defense has played well.
Gatson and Tillman back deep.
A couple of pretty dangerous return guys. They need something. And I don't know if they're going to get anything before the half's out with just 14 seconds, but
I can bet they're darn sure going to try.
Yeah, and Mahler with the big leg usually puts it into the end zone. And the trend is your friend here is even had a little wind.
If you're McGill.
Had a little wind at his back to help him as well. And Theodore with 14 seconds left at the 20. Theodore 5-3 on the year, 3-3 in the region, just their 3rd road game of the year.
You know, if you watch every week, we can tell you that loss to Murphy stung them about as bad as any loss they've had in a while there. And Eric Collier was telling us that he just really felt like they should not have lost that double overtime game.
Yeah, they're going to take a knee here.
Well, that's the thing about those overtime games. I mean, it just really eats at you. You play a game and a half, and somebody has to lose. And if you're on that losing side, it is a stinger for a couple of days.
Good news for Lockett. A lot of rain. Not many people. The lines are not long at the double cheeseburger stand. So if you want to know what he does at halftime.
Well, Jared did a good job of teasing me pregame with that grill. So, yes, I'm going to go get a couple.
So we wait for Tara to get ready with Coach Hill. Let's go down to Tara.
Coach, Theodore has made a living off of Trevor Andrew creating plays for them offensively. How do you continue to limit him on offense?
Well, I mean, he's doing a great job back there. He's doing a lot of play action. They running the football. We just got to keep everybody in front of us. And, contain him and, try to keep him in the pocket.
And weather is obviously a major factor in tonight's game. What can you do, if anything, to minimize the effect it has on your guys in the second half?
Well, we practice this every day. So, I mean, every time it rains, and we practice here anytime it rains. So our guys are used to that.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Very direct, concise.
That's
Coach Hill.
That is Coach Hill.
My man's got one speed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Also learned he doesn't own a robe in the pregame show a few weeks ago. It was just something we learned in the pregame show. And Brennan didn't have one either, neither did I. I don't remember who the other coach was.
Hey, Christmas season's coming up. I'm not saying I wouldn't accept one.
It is at the end of tonight's game. We'll give you a chance to vote on a player of the game. Last week, Jack Samsel, quarterback of the Spanish Fort Toros, led the Toros to an impressive road win at Saraland. And Samsel, his best game we've seen him have on TV.
Yeah, we went into the game expecting the other Jack to really light it up, but it turns out to be, instead of Jack West, Jack Samsel.
Yeah, well, the guys
played
around
really well.
The guys around Samsel played a lot better too.
Yeah, and you had Ben Blackman telling Tara, I think, saying how much better that Samsel has just been playing week after week after week, and he was the player of the game. Tonight we'll have a player of the game that you can vote on, brought to you by Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. And you'll be able to go to UTV44.com and vote on that player of the game. We'll give you 3 nominees coming up at the end of this one. Halftime score, McGill on top of Theodore 10-0. We'll come back and we'll hear how a tuba sounds in the rain, maybe, after this. Halftime 10-0. McGill with the lead. Because of the weather, the bands aren't on the field, but that's not stopping the Theodore band. They are playing over in their stands. It's the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show, and let's listen in to the Theodore band tonight. We promised the McGill band is playing here at the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. They're just not in the field. Let's go down here to our left and listen into the McGill band.
All right, let's hear it.
Heavy stuff's not coming down now. Now it's a nice night for football. The rain's kind of stopped here at the half, but we've had some in the first half. McGill-Toolen with a 10-0 lead over Theodore. And really, after the first series in this game, If you told us that it was going to be 10-0 at the half, I think we'd be surprised because McGill came out and was not slowed down at all by Theodore in that first series.
No, but Theodore found some they found some answers defensively and did a good job keeping this game close.
Yeah, they've been playing them really tough and really well. And I think also I got to give credit to the weather for helping them out, too. I think that balances things out for Theodore and gives them a chance to compete much better.
To slow down that McGill play action game, you know, with Lehman.
Yeah, they got it going early on the first drive. Sheldon Lehman, big completion here. This one went for 25 yards. This is the 3rd and 10 conversion, able to get that one to Bo Hightower. And for Hightower, that was his 10th catch of the season. And this was pretty, wasn't it?
It was, because everybody's going left. And as far as the defense, Lehman goes right, 21 yards and a touchdown.
And then Khalil Nettles, as McGill does so well, special teams. Matter of fact, Trevor Andrews, the quarterback from Theodore, said, you see McGill win games just on special teams. They're so good at it. They get the block punt there. Actually had a 1st and 10 after a Theodore, 1st and goal from the 10 after a Theodore miscue, and they couldn't convert, but they do get the field goal late in the first half there to make it 10-0, and Theodore will get the ball back. And Theodore's got to get something going offensively. That McGill defense has just stymied them tonight.
Well, and I think that's probably why on that, was it a 3rd and short, maybe 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, across midfield, they
took the shot downfield.
Took the shot downfield because they don't have enough confidence in their own offense to string together enough plays to grind it in.
Yep, we'll take another timeout. We'll come back and we'll get you ready for the 3rd quarter. 10-0, McGill has it. They will kick off to Theodore to open things up in the second half here at the Lip on our UTV 44 Game of the Week. Lady in the right of the screen, she's calling somebody, say, look, I'm on TV right now. Look, turn on UTV 44 right now. I am on TV. You can't miss me. Yep. Pretty jacket on my blue and white umbrella. Halftime score 10-0. McGill has the lead as we get ready to start the 3rd quarter here. Let's take a look at our stats from the first half. And you see, talked about Theodore, 50 yards of total offense and just 1 first down. Not making Long and Long very happy with the Theodore offense tonight.
Not getting a lot out of them, are they?
8 for McGill-Toolen, but really, I mean, you know, not a lot of offense in that first half for either team. 170 yards for McGill, but Theodore 15 passing, 35 on the ground, and 5 McGill penalties in that first half. I think that's surprising. We've seen the ball on the ground a few times here at a block punt. Also had a miscue on a Theodore snap on a punt, but McGill comes away with just 10 points. Trevor Andrews, 1 of 4. Roy Tukes, 7 rushes for 20 hard-earned yards tonight. Lehman's been accurate, 6 of 7. He's also pulled the ball down and had that 21-yard touchdown run. And Brian Hill, 14 rushes for 72 yards. He's been pretty much all the offense. And we heard from Ernest Hill as his team was getting ready to go in at the half. Let's find out what Eric Collier had to say to Tara.
He said that the weather obviously had a serious issue on them in the first half. As you were mentioning, of course, the botched punt, and then they also had a blocked punt. Also defensively, they've missed some alignment. He said McGill has made mistakes. They just really have to capitalize on them here in the second half. And as far as the center, Ashton Johnson, goes, Coach Collier says it was just a minor left ankle injury. He's ready to go in the second half.
Oh, boy, that's great.
Man, that's good.
Because it did not look minor at first look there.
You see, with that kind of friendly fire, result in some really devastating injuries. So thank goodness for that. Confirmed by David Morris, by the way, that Sheldon Lehman, also a QB country.
Good.
I can say graduate, but student.
Well, we could see the works. I mean, you could tell he's got good footwork and good talent, and you know he's crisp. So yes, David Morris.
Not just
fine job working with that young man.
Not just a student, honor student. He's an
I don't think so.
He's got honors. So
one of David's honor students going to be on the field in Jacksonville tomorrow. He's making a lot of noise. Is Jake Fromm from the University of Georgia, who also, because David's expanded that, QB country is now like across the country just about. So he's had a lot of students he's worked with personally that are going to universities all over the United States.
Dan, you're not by chance pulling for Jake Fromm, are you?
I am pulling for Jake Fromm. I am.
those of you all that know, Dan's a big Georgia Bulldog fan.
Chase Mahler to kick off. And guess what he did?
I'm telling you, what a weapon. He's got a great punter, too. So McGill can just slowly bleed you to death by these paper cuts known as you start at the 20. We'll start at the 40.
Yeah. Jack Martin, who was the punter, was our guest on the pregame show, and he was fun to talk to him. And Ernest Hill was just kind of like, you can just tell, it's like, you little rascal, you little punter. I got to keep my eye on the kicker. Did you have that?
Absolutely. And then meeting with Jack at midfield as he was kicking long before anybody else was on the field. Just kids with balls helping him, do his thing. He just has a smile on his face, like, did he just get away with something?
Andrews looks at the middle of the field and got Tillman, who was falling down, but reaches behind him and makes the catch, and he's got a long injury attorney's first down. What a catch by Tillman.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. This kid is, again, a competitor, and I think it's important that Andrews go to Tillman because he is a weapon, and more than likely he's not going to let you down. Play action.
Just second first down and second completed pass of the night for the Bobcats.
Something quick so McGill's pressure doesn't get to you. They do it on first down, which would naturally be the running down.
Yeah, and a little confidence, get a little confidence going.
Yeah, a good catch on the ball a little behind him.
Duke's on the left side, and he's got a little bit of space, and he's up to the 40. We'll give him the 40-yard line. Ernest Hill not happy with that, and calling for Tamel Kennedy to come in and get on that defensive line. He did not like that.
Boy, there was an infraction that was missed too. A little
double hitch.
Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that.
Slap to the face.
Oh no, I did not see that.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the center kind of lunging and then snapping the ball.
Yeah,
did you notice that, Jim?
It did look like Ashton Johnson was firing out there. He's playing on a bum ankle. Give him a little credit there, Vic.
Give him a little slack, huh?
I formation here for the Bobcats. They'll pitch it to Tukes on the left side, cuts it back, and he's going to get one. So nothing doing there at all.
Just sitting right there in the hole saying, ball's coming to me. I do my technique, read my keys. Coach said the ball will show, and it shows, and here I'll make the tackle.
Well, cheerleaders have got that cheer, hit him high, hit him low, and that's what McGill did on that play. One guy at the ankles and one guy at the chest.
He got two, and it's 3rd and 3.
They don't need to punt this ball away.
Wet night like this, I got Chris Zaga be checking in. He's a big McGill fan. He's usually here, but I think the weather may have deterred him, so he's checking in, saying, "Hey, he's enjoying the football game and the lead by."
You were saying, "Hey, we don't want to see Theodore punt the ball here." They take a timeout, a minute 42 in, 3rd and 3. Yeah. So, the chance to give you your trivia question. Actually, the band playing our trivia music here. Who was the last former Alabama Crimson Tide player to score a defensive touchdown in the National Football League?
Well, last night.
Well, Vic Lockett is not. We don't answer the dang question. How many times have we been doing this?
Well, I was raising my hand.
Between you and Lance Crawford, y'all are just totally throwing this one in the.
Well, I just gave him a hint.
By the way, I don't know if he returned one on a UTV 44 game of the week.
I think he did.
But I remember him getting a pick.
I know he turned
in a UTV 44 game of the week. I kept telling Locke, this guy's going to be a player. And Locke was like, he's got to prove it to me.
Thank God. So
that shows what I know, right?
We got 1 week of trivia left, and I'm glad. Just glad no more. It's racked my brain all
Jim,
day.
You weren't up all night on that one, I know.
Trying to come up with something that was relevant to this game. It's not easy, Vic Lockett.
You just don't want to let that frustration come out on the air. I've been in this game a long time. Come on.
Talk about it during the commercial break, right?
Calm down, big guy.
It won't be talking. 3rd and 3, play action. Andrews dumps it out of the backfield. He's able to get that one complete. He's got the first down into McGill territory. As Reggie Malone, the sophomore, they do not throw it out of the backfield hardly at all, but Malone has a long injury attorney's first down for the Bobcats.
Trust your guys to make a play. That should be open. It was open. You get the first down. New set of downs. Quarterback gaining a little confidence, and offensive line the same way.
Yeah, he executes this naked boot.
Yep.
By himself. Well, I say it was naked. They did slip a guard around there to give him some protection. Usually they slip the guard and the center around there, but
just a handful of completions all year to backs.
Good ball security by the young guy. First down.
to the 47. Andrews gives it off to Tukes up the middle. There's a flag. Tukes takes a big hit, and the ball comes loose and recovered by the Bobcats.
Yeah, that was a lucky collection of the football there. He just happened to be around the pile, and it was, hey, let me have that football.
Yes, Fabian Williams was right there to get on it, but this is...
Tukes took a big hit there at the end and maybe jarred the ball loose, but his teammate there, Fabian, comes in to save the day. You can hear that pop all the way up here, right there.
Good job by Williams to fall on that ball. And
it looks like it was Bryson Massey or made that ball come out.
I think it was Washington on the carry there, by the way, in for Tukes.
Correction.
A hold.
I didn't see a flag.
Yeah, it was right in the middle of the field. So it takes the Bobcats back to the 45 and brings up 1st and 20.
Let's go.
Should be about a 1st and
forever there.
About 1st and 18.
Jim's still counting.
Yeah. You know, when I start untying the second shoe, Vic Lockett, it's a long way to go. They'll bring Tukes back in. Back to him. Andrews fires that one up, and Tillman
nearly pulled it out of the air there. He climbed the ladder to go get it.
Brady was out there on the coverage. Those holding calls just kill you. Kill a drive.
Hunter's 5'6". He says, I'm not 6'6". Get it down a little bit and give me a chance to make a play.
2nd and 18 coming up.
And then Coach Collier there knows he's still well in this football game.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Had a great chat with Coach Collier before the game. You and I did, Dan. Lockett came up and kind of went sideways after that.
It was a.
We started talking football instead of
exactly.
What we do after that. That's boring.
You wouldn't believe where we were going. Great guy.
Stood up by Ruggs, ball loose. Andrews with a great job to see that ball and fall on it. Wow.
Nick Ruggs on that red dog, which means it is a run stunt all the way by the linebacker, and he meets him back right in the hole, form tackle.
Is that a pre-snap call, Vic?
That is, looks like. Listen at it go right here. Pow!
Ooh,
football's out.
Boy, got him kind of like right under the chin.
But good job.
Hit.
Good
That's
job by
smarts.
Andrews.
Yeah.
You know,
rainy night, dry night, doesn't matter. That hurts, right?
Yeah, rainy night, dry night, it didn't matter. That ball was coming out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Andrews not just a pedestrian on the play.
Now
he helps them keep possession, Jim.
Now 3rd and 20. Jordan O'Neal, big receiver out to the top of your screen. Andrews rolls that way. Looks, now fires over the middle, and slipping down was Fabian Williams, and he would have been well short of the first down anyway, but looked like they wanted to try to go up top on the far side at O'Neal, but nothing doing over there.
Well, McGill never lets that quarterback get comfortable, no matter what, and they bust down that pocket sooner than a lot of teams do, and they've been doing that a long time.
Absolutely.
Now here McGill with a block punt already tonight. Eric Gare back. Wobbly snap, and getting it off was Williams, and Gare takes it end over end at the 20. Up the right side with some speed and brought down to the 32-yard line. And tomorrow's game day, so you're probably having a part of it. You know, you got Alabama and Auburn both off tomorrow, but
there's still an excuse for food salads. You don't have to have a party.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say
I've had them, and it's just been me there.
This is on a Tuesday. Lockett didn't get 300 on Tuesday. But anyway,
I've seen Lockett with a sack of Fusaklis at the Mobile Opera.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't care.
And he washed it down with the best lemonade in town.
Yes.
Order your football party trays from Fusaklis, and most importantly, don't take the foo out of football. And up to the 49-yard line, Bo Hightower, his 2nd catch tonight. First down, long injury attorney's first down.
Let me say something. If Lehman was in one of those
systems,
yeah, well, like our buddy that's up at Thompson now, that was over at Spanish Fort, where they
Coach Mark Freeman playing Hoover tonight, number 2 and 3 in 7A with that matchup.
This kid in that offense, there'd be some big numbers.
He's going to keep it on the right side again. He's going to have a first down and smartly steps out of bounds.
Pretty slick by McGill. Had all the action coming towards us with the counter trade, and they countered off the counter trade.
They did.
Long and long injury attorney's first down for Sheldon Lehman. I think he kind of likes pulling it down and taking off too. You know, some quarterbacks do it out of necessity. You can kind of see he's got that look in his eye.
He really likes it when there's nothing but green grass out in front of him.
Absolutely.
At the 35, McGill rolling a bit here on this drive. Hill to the 32. And let's go down the sidelines for another Coastal Alabama Community College Educator Spotlight. Tara with a familiar face here at McGill.
I sure am. I'm with Father Bryce Shields, of course, the president here at McGill-Toolen Catholic. And Father Shields, talk about some of the programs that you offer here at McGill.
Well, our band is doing great this year. They won Best in Band competition recently, so they always do extremely well. And, of course, the academic program continues to excel.
Absolutely, and we got to see them perform tonight. Now, let's talk about this stellar Yellow Jackets football team that we're seeing put on a show right now behind us.
Yeah, oh, man, we're so proud of them and proud of Coach Hill. Nobody expected anything. We graduate over 30 seniors. Look what's happening. They're right back, 8-0.
And even here on senior night, doing a spectacular job.
Even here on senior night on a wet night, we're doing great. We're very proud.
Thank you so much, Father Shields. Back up to you, Jim.
Thanks, Tara.
Good job bringing that back to football by Tara.
Coach Hill. His son here had the long injury attorney's first down and looking for more as they're in the red zone up to the 16-yard line. So Blunt on the road up 35-3 at Gulf Shores, and Murphy with a 7-3 lead over Davidson still. That was the score in the first quarter. Then in the second half now over at Ladd.
Yeah, there's a great Davidson defense. They played great most of the year anyway, and so you had a feeling that one was going to be a battle of and not a whole lot of points.
There's Ernest Hill, first-year head coach at McGill. Kennedy shows blitz, and he got a hand on that one. It's still complete. Able to get it to Hightower with his third catch of the night. Bo Hightower having a big night here. I thought that Kennedy got a piece of that ball.
May have. He came in there and did a good job of kind of disguising his blitz at the last minute. He thought he was going to split the difference between the wide out and the line. But no, he sneaks in there and adds some pressure to force that quarterback to get rid of the football.
Hightower, good-looking junior receiver.
Yeah, they got some kids that are growing up this year. They had a lot of talent at wide receiver this year, but you can see that Lehman and these guys are getting on the same page.
First and goal from the 8 long injury attorneys. First and goal, trying to sneak out of the pile was Hill, but a good job by Mike Williams to grab a hold and not let go, because Hill had it in the middle and he had sights for the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he tried to break it out wide, but that guy said, nope, you sit down right here. I'm not turning you loose.
His dad does make a big deal out of it, but he's got to be so proud when he watches his son play, because he plays with so much determination. That's so obvious, and that's not something you really teach. Kid's got it or he doesn't.
Hill this time going to be hit and stopped. Kendall Cribb, another sophomore on this Theodore team, making the stop, and they've been stout down here in the red zone against this McGill offense.
Yeah, bending but not breaking, and they've got a lot of young talent. You know, we knew this group was talented, but, you know, guys, I overlooked it. They're a lot younger than I thought they were, so there's great things to come at Theodore.
Yeah. I thought Theodore would compete for this region championship. You know, they've lost 3 close games. They lost 17-0. That was the worst one to Davidson. They lost by 7 in double overtime to Murphy and lost by 3 to Fairhope in a game they didn't give up an offensive touchdown. Third and goal from the 10. Lehman on the option, pitches it back. C.J. Evans dropped for a 1-yard loss. Is a good job by the Bobcats to string this one out to the near side. And Colton Higgins, no, correct, that'll be Keyshawn Gatson able to make the stop.
Hadn't seen the option all night, but credit Theodore to be ready for it when you see it.
Yep.
I mean, they've got 3 defenders out here on the pitch, man. Just nowhere for him to go. Keyshawn does a good job at strong safety coming in that alley to shut it down.
And
great job.
Mahler will try one from 28. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Good snap. And this one is good. And McGill extends their lead with 4 minutes to go in the third. It's 13-0 Yellow Jackets, 7A Region 1 football tonight here on UTV 44. three, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Big Clock, and Tara Reeves on the sidelines. Jared Kihas on the truck, and our wet crew here tonight. 10 plays, 57 yards. Our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. Just a little over 4 minutes on the clock before Mahler gets the field goal, his second of the night. And McGill on top of 13.
Yeah, after that touchdown, Theodore did a good job just holding the string of field goals. They've got to get their offense going now.
And Mahler continues on. It's just it's a little bit of a mental grind as well for the offense, always having to start at the 20. Not just the field position, but you're like looking 80 yards downfield all the time.
Yeah, and especially against a defense that plays so well and so sound like McGill.
Absolutely. You know, they're not going to let you methodically drive it down the field. You know, we've seen them give up some mistakes and give up some chunk yards. That may be how they're going to have to make it happen.
No heavy rain right now, no rain right now, but I'm just checking radar. There's more coming off the Gulf of Mexico, so it's just kind of dicey, Jim, what we get the rest of this game into the fourth quarter. Could get some, could get a lot, could get a little.
It's like a weatherman. You covered all the bases there.
Right.
Brennan.
Where's my degree?
We didn't flip to the near side. Fabian Williams collects it, takes a big hit at the 26-yard line.
Now, if you give it to us in another 30 seconds, you'll be just like the news networks.
I got it,
too.
I can do that.
You've kind of made a living giving weather, haven't you?
I've made a living talking in 30-second chunks. Yep. I'm good.
6-yard pickup on first down. Williams was bumped out of bounds there by Bryson Massey, the safety. Let's see Ruggs trying to get one of his defensive teammates' attention.
Well, McGill will make you pay.
To the whistle every play.
Yep.
1st and 6, Tukes up the middle. He's grabbed up high, and there's a swarm of Yellow Jackets there to stop him. It's 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's the best way to play defense is swarming and game tackling like that, especially on the big back. McGill has done it so far tonight because I don't think Tukes has had big yardage. He's picked up a couple of first downs here and there and moved the chains, but hadn't bust one wide open.
Yeah, Cox is a big guy, isn't he? I mean, look at him just on this is your nose guard. He goes 6'5", 300.
Perfect looking, good looking athlete.
Got to be some people very interested in him, Vic.
I'm sure they are sniffing
and
around.
And a junior.
Junior, yeah.
3rd and 3. Andrews rolls out, looks on the run, fires it off, and he's dropped by Tillman. Tillman thought he was going to have it. Guerra thought he was going to have 6 going the other way.
Yeah, looks like Guerra's got a little bit of a cramp. Let's hope that's all it is.
Yeah. And another 3 and out for this Bobcat offense. Guerra got maybe just a piece of it enough to distract Tillman. Fabian Williams at the 12. Good kick. Hangs in the air, and this one taken at the 35-yard line. And Corey and Wilson was filling in for Guerra on that return since Guerra had hobbled off with a cramp. And Dan Brennan.
Hey, one of our key sponsors tonight, Thyra Cadell Law Offices, personal injury, car accidents, slip and fall accidents, Social Security, workers' comp, including shipyard injuries. And we certainly do appreciate the fact that they step up and say, yeah, we want to be part of the UTV 44 High School Game of the Week.
Really appreciate it.
At the 48, another good field position start for the Yellow Jackets. Lehman, all kinds of time looking down the near sideline, fires it, and what a job to stay in bounds. Did he hold on? He did. Jennings Clayton.
What a pass, what a catch.
Wow.
What execution.
He put his hand up, a long injury attorney's first down. He put his hand up about the 35 and said, come my way, but then.
I'm open, coach.
But to keep his feet in bounds on the near sideline, what a job.
Yeah, we haven't even seen this kid make a play this year. That was a great play, and he had 2 receivers, same side of the field, at, I guess you would say, different levels, right, Vic?
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to flood the zone over there, and they were successful in confusing the Theodore defense.
Somebody's going to be open.
Hill to the 25-yard line.
He could have thrown it deep and taken a chance, Jim, or he could have gone to the guy.
I think he made the right choice.
Yeah, he did make the right choice.
Inside 2 minutes to go here in the third. So regardless what happens tonight, you know, the region championship will be decided next Friday night in Fairhope. McGill on the road to take on the Fairhope Pirates.
It should be a dandy. Two well-coached teams.
Lehman fires, and that one's incomplete as it went over the head of Zach Workman.
He faked me out that time. I thought the back had the football, but he hung on to it.
You got to read your keys better.
I got to read my keys much better.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
I got to get some drills in.
I don't know if the weather's got anything to do with it, but I think it's interesting that with the rain not falling right now, we're seeing McGill go ahead and take advantage of that. And try to throw the football a little bit, because it is a big part of their offense.
Cushion their lead before the weather turns horrible.
Because it's, you know, a chance of more of it coming back.
And that's the report from Dan Brennan.
Splits on the near side, inside the 10 at his feet. First and goal at the 3. Long injury attorneys. First and goal coming up for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, he ran that little counter play and waited for something to open up, a la Le'Veon Bell, and then he saw it and took it. And he's inside the 5.
He's patient and explosive.
Watch it here. It's another step, and then he sees it and he exploits it.
It didn't need much of a hole to get through there.
Yeah, he's a little narrow body. He can get small easy.
First and goal. Lehman to Hill. Cuts it back to the inside. And good job there by Colton Higgins, the junior linebacker, to make the stop.
Good job by the entire Theodore defense. Everybody reading their keys over there. Gaston shutting down the outside, setting the edge is the phrase overly used.
You're talking about getting the plays in before the weather gets here. I thought it was odd when Coach Hill had Chris Dunn down there on the sidelines getting a weather update before the series started.
He was in the huddle.
Yeah. Second and goal at the 3.
8 on the play clock. I was about to say shot clock. Where did that come from?
You such the NBA fan you are.
Yeah, right.
Hill on the left side stood up, trying to push forward. His lineman gives him another push. No signal.
And there it is.
And in for the touchdown.
There's the Bush push right there.
But Hill's got to keep his legs going, or he doesn't have a chance to get that push from behind.
You're right.
And Mabe just...
Good shot here from the end zone. Sticks his helmet in the chest of 57 there. And 76 says, hey, I'm going to push him on through here.
Yeah, I was getting some help up front. Charles Mayhall with the final little push.
10 seconds, back on the clock.
The ref indicating that they should have blew it a little bit earlier.
Right, so
I've seen that happen a lot on all levels. I'd like to see the refs blow the whistle a lot quicker sometimes in the name of safety. Kids from getting themselves hurt.
So just 10 seconds left in the third, and McGill stretches this one out a little bit here at 19-0, and Mahler will try to make it 20. And he does. And now they ran 3 seconds off the clock on the PAT, which is not how that works. They'll have to put 3 more back on to get it to 10.
Jim, you are up on your math, I can tell you that.
Theodore's guy, they haven't been able to do much. They've had the ball. They punted the ball 6 times. They got 3 first downs here tonight, and you got to start trying to take some shots downfield a little bit, but easier said than done against this McGill defense. You know, this defense this year, you know, they've only given up more than 14 points. That was once in week 1 to Spanish Fort.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they've held their opponents to 7 or less in 7 of the games so far here this year.
And
well, it's still early.
7A, by the way, you know, the highest level.
Sure. It's still early to start talking about
math.
possessions, you know, speaking of math. You know, we're not even into the 4th quarter. We don't need to be talking about how many possessions left, because A lot can happen, turnovers could happen, and you can increase the possessions or you can decrease it by ball control by McGill.
Yep, and I think that's certainly what they're going to have on mind and in mind, and probably offensively when McGill gets it back. If they still have the 20-point lead, you can look for them to really try to take the air out of the ball and throw it only every now and then on a play action.
Our scoring summary there brought to you by Mobile Regional Airport, and on that big drive there, Brian Hill now 118 yards rushing tonight. Let's get on to a sideline report for Tara.
During that last McGill drive, Eric Gare was sidelined with what appeared to be cramping in his left leg. The trainer was stretching out his entire left leg, and he was drinking from an entire jug of pickle juice, something one of our cameramen, Vanya Kai, is very familiar with. He loves him some giant pickles. Also, for Theodore, Trevor Andrews, of course, everyone is excited for a win, but he said specifically he wanted to win tonight, upset McGill, their 23-game regular season winning streak, and here at the Lip would be even sweeter. First thing he's going to do after the win, go to Waffle House.
He goes to Tukes on this one.
I may join him on that Waffle House part of it.
Well, how about the pickle juice? You in on the pickle juice?
I'm not into the pickle juice.
You're going to have to get something going, or there's going to be an empty booth at the Theodore Waffle House.
And you just cued the rain to come up as well.
Here it comes.
As you talked about, fourth quarter,
we are
through.
Get
a little tricky.
Yeah, through 3, and you saw Tukes get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that was all. Rain coming back on. 1 quarter to go.
You're welcome.
Looking to stay perfect on the year. They're 12 minutes away from doing just that. They're really not dressed like ghosts for Halloween.
No.
It was just the color of the poncho tonight.
It was necessary, and the band played on.
20-0 McGill with a lead to start the fourth. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves in the sideline. Daniel Hicks, our statistician. Jared Kihas in the truck. Our entire soggy UTV 44 crew. Some of them, it's, the rain maybe not doing a bad thing for them. It's down the middle. They look. Andrews wants Tillman. He lunges for it. He's got it to the 45.
Yeah, that's the way to lay out for a football hunt.
It is, and you know that kid was going to do just that. So great catch by Hunter Tillman.
And that ball's a little overthrown, and Tillman went and got it.
Yeah, he did, and a little bit shame on McGill for letting somebody get behind them with a 20-point lead, Vic.
Yeah, he split those safeties there, and good play design by Theodore to kind of influence him to widen out. He just went right through.
It's like they took a shot downfield, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Dano called it there.
Sorry? That was me.
Oh, is that you?
Great job by Hunter Tillman to haul
in the rain.
That one in.
Yeah. Great catch.
Biggest play offensively tonight for the Bobcats. They're in McGill territory. That's got to be a flag. You can't run toward the right. Vic Lockett.
They got 2 of them.
Tukes.
Yeah, they're trying to get an extra blocker over there to kind of crack Jim, and they just got to coach him. He can't turn up until the ball snaps.
Right. So I think that's the 3rd time tonight we've seen that infraction on Theodore.
Got to correct that. My boy Anthony Garrett over there, side judge, got it. Very obvious.
We'll make it 1st and 15. Got some folks checking in from Baldwin County watching the game tonight. Ty Thompson enjoying the game out on his covered veranda, it looks like, while watching the game. And someone else who loves a big giant pickle, he says, Chris Haley watching the game over in Baldwin County tonight. So appreciate them checking in and watching the game.
Would not be a good night to watch this game from your uncovered veranda.
It's a good.
If there are verandas that have
that's
lack
kind of what
cover.
Maybe weather damage or something would have to be uncovered. But
right.
Anyway,
I think an uncovered veranda is known as a patio.
Which is simply what I have.
Me too.
So now, just move it back to the 45. Andrews with time and fires that one high, and Malone pays the price for being over there on the sidelines.
Yeah, he wanted to curl a whole lot deeper, but McGill just absolutely took it away.
Saw that.
High corner, and then safety kind of just dug over there, widened out, recognizing what was going on with the quarterback, reading his eyes.
I think he was looking.
Got wide and just took it away.
Fabian Williams was the guy that they put in the middle of the field there. Theodore in the route, but McGill was all over it. It was basically a two-man route. Right
yeah,
there.
yeah. And 3 wides this time with a single back.
3rd and 10. Williams in motion. Andrews, time middle of the field. There was contact. Yeah, and that's going to be a flag as Williams was there. That's the right call to make.
I kind of thought it was on, as y'all like to say, bang, bang. He was there right on time, but we'll see. Eric got it wind up for me right here.
Well, take a look here, Vic.
Coming across, yeah, I don't know.
I think there was a little
Bryson
contact
Massey.
a little earlier than I suspected the first time around. I'm like you, Vic.
I'm outvoted here. I got 2-1.
Well,
and
generally,
you guys are offensive guys
and the TV showing it was early, Vic.
Well, more
the
than that,
vote.
the judge has already decided the white hat.
Yeah. So I think the picture made it 3-1.
So converts to a first down, a long injury attorney's first down for the Bobcats, and it's the deepest they've been in McGill territory tonight.
Yeah, they'll take it. They'll take it any way they can get it. If it's a penalty, fine. They've just got to take advantage of this where they are now, and somehow
they'll even take a donation from McGill at this point, right?
They'll take it. They need 6 quick.
Trevor Andrews near side, and slipping down was Hunter Tillman, and that one kind of hung up there
and it died.
In the air a bit.
Had to travel a good distance to get there, and just didn't have enough velocity to do it.
Eric Guerrer was over there, and he knows a thing or two about being around football.
And you can see that there's a trust with Tillman too, right? Yep. He's really gone to him a lot here in the second half. He just undershoots that one.
And I like the design of the play. Coach Collier's got some stuff drawn up to get these receivers open. They're just not able to connect on all of them.
Tillman, who plays baseball and basketball.
Yeah.
Really great athlete out of Theodore.
He's a gym rat.
2nd and 10 from the 30. Tukes on the right side, busts through, and he's going to have a long injury attorney's first down to the 18.
Well, he's finally got some success. This time he wasn't right up in the middle. He was over there in that 8 hole, and right there on the edge, right there beside that tackle, and had some success to get his first down.
This is a guy that can cause some injuries during the injury lawyer first down because he goes full speed when he sees a hole. And
William Owen did a great job on that kickout block too, that right guard.
Not sure anyone was negligent on the play. I just think
I understand. I mean, no litigation.
Let's not even talk about that, guys. I'm reporting for jury duty Monday.
Down to the 18. Oh, drop snap. Andrews now he's trying to figure out. Almost had his knee go down as got some momentum going, then first down. You have a little miscue there.
Yeah, this could work out for the best for our team because actually Jim goes on trial on Monday. Now, I don't know if it's the same case. I'm not saying that it is. That's just a joke.
Well, I am looking for any excuse to get out. Hey, I know that Fisher guy. Fisherman.
Well, first of all, Lockett, let's clear up the fact I'm not, on trial next week, and so I'll be not part of your jury duty. Let's not confuse people here.
Well, I got the disclaimer in that it was just.
Hey, I'm going to talk to Jared about giving me a note. Maybe that'll fly with the
Do your civic duty and sit on the dang jury, Vic Lockett. 2nd and 10. Zipped out to the far side, intercepted. Far side, looked that one the whole way. Coming up with the pick, Jacorian Bennett. Wow.
Tukes saving the tackle, sending him flying and somersaulting.
Bennett had a couple in week 1. He adds to it here tonight. And
he was smelling the end zone.
Oh, he was. I mean, he had all. And this is a small thing, and they're not going to talk about it at the banquet at the end of the season for Theodore, but give the Bobcats credit for everybody retreating and keeping that from becoming a touchdown, because there were a lot of white, black, and red players in that area just retreating when they could have given up on the play.
Well, that just furthers your point you've been making. There's a lot of fight in these Bobcats, and I think Coach Collier's got something to work with these young guys, a great foundation that's going to continue on in the next year.
Now Lehman drops back. He's maybe looking for the killer shot downfield. He's going to roll all the way and takes a hit the near sideline, and chasing him down was Higgins, and then Colton Higgins there to help him up after the big hit right at the sideline.
He hears a member of the coaching staff say throw it away, and he did, but Not before he got, you know, he hung on to it long enough to get waxed at the end.
Well, here's the trivia answer. The Lockett, you know, just jacked up from the second. Lance Crawford talked about it.
For your roll tide, guys.
Well, how about I put it on? I thought maybe it confused some people because you had, you know, former Roll Tide player, you know, Eddie Jackson scoring 2 on Sunday. You think, oh, maybe it's him. And then C.J. Mosley,
who played for Theodore.
Give up, Lockett. C.J. Mosley, of course, played at Theodore.
Absolutely.
And that's why it was newsworthy. And the fact he got the pick 6 last night and went in for the score and led the Ravens to the. That was an. I got to see that game late. There was a whole lot of ugly late in that football game last night.
Yeah, a few players going to get some FedEx packages next week, and just wasn't a thing of beauty by the Miami offense.
Tune into the second quarter next week when Lockett, you know, since he's on jury duty, will have a little time in the hallway, comes up with a trivia question. Find out what that one's about. Khalil Nettles had a block punt earlier tonight, got stood up on the inside. Reggie Malone there for the Bobcats.
McGill happy to bleed the clock. Play clock down around 5 now.
Happy to. Stan said it. Okay to punt the ball, you're fine. Just punt the ball now with inside 8 minutes to go and up by 3 scores.
And at this point, there's no reason to think Theodore's offense is going to threaten them. Have threatened a bit all night, but they've just been one of those bend but not break defenses.
Hunter Tillman.
Yeah, so not doing it from scrimmage. Maybe Tillman can make some noise as a punt returner here. Let's see.
And Martin just watches the play clock come all the way down to 3. Got the snap. Went straight up. Not a deep punt, but really high. And takes a great bounce. Talked about the science and art of punting with Martin on the pregame show. And he pins Theodore back at the 6.
He gets some altitude on it, doesn't he?
And our Scholastic Athletes of the Week, Theodore Bobcats, Kaylee Kirchton, 4.31 GPA. Member of the National Honor Society, the Key Club, the Student Council. Lots of things that I don't even know what all that what all that means, which tells you that, you know, my scholastic aptitude. She wants to continue on playing volleyball in college and study nursing.
Let's say it's just all good.
4.31, you know. Lots of
all
honors there.
Good stuff there.
Volleyball player as well, so
hats off to her.
You know, Jim, it's always great to see when it's all laid out there in front of you, the accomplishments of these students and student athletes.
Yeah.
So much of their time is taken through their athletic ventures.
Kate Stuardi on the McGill side, 4.27 GPA. She's a cheerleader, National Honor Society, Key Club. Wofford Scholars Program Award, the Bosch and Lom Honor Science Award, Honorary Science Award, HON period something. It's going to be it's honors, honorary, honesty, probably a very
honesty's
all
not
the
bad.
above. Let's just say
exactly.
all of the above.
It's a good thing.
So Kate Stuardi, our McGill-Toolen Scholastic Athlete of the Week, and here's a long injury attorney's first down for Tukes on that one. So we're inside 7 minutes to go. Theodore.
You're just thinking, hey, let's move the sticks and then maybe get some fresh set of downs, and then we'll think about spreading out and trying to be more aggressive.
And Tukes is not that one who's going to maybe run away from you. He's going to get you some chunks, but more of a pounding back than the one who's the threat to take it 82 yards, which probably, now that I've said that, will happen as he gets just past the line of scrimmage on this one.
First down run there.
Yeah.
Now is the time to start talking about possessions in the game. And clock is running.
Maybe now's the time to talk about the game we've got next week, because that's a big game.
Yeah.
Dan, you always brings us back to reality. You know, I'm trying to be diplomatic and saying these guys got an opportunity to make this game competitive, and you're already on Old Shell Road, right?
I can read a scoreboard, but Here's the standings, Vic, and here's the thing. Here's why it still relates to this game, because one of the teams in this huge game next week is on the field right now, McGill-Toolen.
They will take on Fairhope for the region championship. That game will be announced on Monday. It'll be here on UTV 44, so I don't want to say it now. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah, I thought we were going somewhere else.
Tukes out of the backfield, lost the football, and still loose on the far side, picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They come away with it. Bryson Massey has it inside the 15, lunges to the 10-yard line.
Wow, what a scrum there.
The ball was loose, and not sure how it came out of the bottom of the pile.
That
but Massey
probably is the dagger there, Dan.
Yep. Watch here. Tukes and knocked out. Loose. Massey.
Yep, there it is.
Just picked it up.
How about that? Great awareness by Massey. Quickly picks it up and does not surrender down to a knee, and is able to return it almost for the touchdown. That's what he had in mind.
So he gets it all the way down to the 10, and it's a long injury attorney's 1st and goal here for the Yellow Jackets. And Nick Lockett said this might be the one that just salts it away.
Yeah, that's pretty tough there.
This one knocked down. Good job by Colton Higgins there. And
McGill's still swinging it in there.
Yeah, and this, this is going to be a little misleading when the defense tonight for Theodore simply got no help from the offense.
Short fields.
Short fields, on the field a lot, and the Theodore defense has played well.
And Coach Collier said, we can't turn it over tonight. Can't give them short fields. And that's 2 things that have worked against him.
Yeah, he knew it, and now we're watching it. But still playing with pride.
Yep.
No,
C.J. Evans with the carry there. 3rd and goal coming up. Good look there at
Plenty of time on the clock for McGill to make their changes in alignment, and they're trying to get the best play in before they snap this ball.
You saw Timothy Pitts there, just one of those offensive linemen that rotate in that Coach Hill was talking about. Lehman, all kinds of time, fires tipped in the air and picked off. Cameron Brown.
And just like that, still life.
I think Sam Satterwhite, they may have
Satterwhite
brought in.
Yeah, getting some time with some of the other reserves.
Satterwhite had not thrown an interception yet this year in his reserve duty. 24 attempts on the year, filling in, and that one tipped up in the air, and Cameron Brown comes up with a pick.
Satterwhite's actually played very well in relief. 24 out of 29.
Yep.
For about 200 yards.
And a touchdown, and Theodore able to take it right back away on the tip there.
Got to go the length of the field, though, to get the points. So they've got an opportunity to get out of here without leaving them with a goose egg. It looks like Coach Kai is just content to kind of get out of here as well without any further injuries.
Yeah. I don't know. There was things tonight to see out of Theodore that we really liked. Most of it, obviously on the defensive side of the field. And McGill just keeps on growing as a McGill team. Not spectacular, and we didn't promise that they would be, but they were sound.
Fired off to the far side, and Hunter Tillman.
I think that's a very good description. Key word there, sound. And
they weren't perfect.
They're that week in and week out to me.
Yeah.
I think the weather contributed to some of their fallacies.
They had some
Other
lapses.
than that, they've been pretty much error-free.
Yeah. A few late hits or things that are
turnover here late with the backup quarterback. We won't indict them for that.
Lockett continues with the legal speak.
I got to get the jargon down if I'm going to get out of this thing,
Vic, but it's a civic duty. Like you would, I tell you what, if you were, I just think if you were on trial, I'd want Vic Lockett on my jury.
How much are you going to feed me?
Well,
first question with the judge. When's the lunch break?
That's not the.
When's the snack break?
You're not above the jury, Vic.
I got to tell you now. I know you've seen a lot of trials on TV, and they all end in an hour. That's not the way it really works.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just television. I don't want you to get up after 60 minutes and saying, I'm done.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in being sequestered either. I don't know what the menu's going to be like.
I would really enjoy if you were sequestered until Friday afternoon about 3 o'clock. TV 44 Early College.
The Lockett Cam.
Game of the week brought to you by can you even talk about that, Vic? I don't think you can even talk about that. Speaking of this,
maybe I'm disqualifying myself.
The Sheriff's Office of Mobile and Baldwin counties, they'll come put Lockett in handcuffs to get him there on time.
I think I called my buddy Vic, Sam Cochran. He told me this past week he loves watching us on hospital.
Vic, there's lots of legal, lots of police talk. Who is Vic Lockett? Drug Education Council, Sheriff's Office of Mobile and Baldwin County.
Huey Hallsmack doing a good job.
He's never called you to jury duty, has he?
Oh, man, Lockett is playing all his cards live on the air.
Absolutely.
I don't think I think that's against the. You might be on trial, Vic Lockett. I don't think you can do that. So anyway,
I lost to Ashley Rich in a wing contest, by the way.
I was there.
Long injury attorneys. Here we go again. First down for the Bobcats, and not much doing there with 3.5 to go. So if Lockett isn't sequestered, he will be with us in Fairhope next Friday night.
That's exciting.
It's really good. We have not been to Fairhope in years. The Cannon will get someone. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you can prepare for it as much as you want, but when they blast that cannon, at one point you're not ready for it.
2nd and 11. Andrews looks on the right side on the run, fires it. Was it complete? Let's say incomplete.
Yeah, I didn't think anything was in bounds on that one.
Yeah, that was Fabian Williams over there. 3rd down coming up.
Well, the games we watch Fabian Williams, he probably dozes off on the bus because he
leaves it all on the field.
Yeah, he plays a lot of football.
Take a look here at the replay. Andrews being flushed out of the pocket, and
he tried to fit it in there, but there again, good defense.
3rd and 11. McGill rushes 3, and Andrews fires it to Tillman, who holds. Let's see who. Boy, Tillman was there, and he was wrestling for it with the DB, and they'll give it to Tillman, who's got the reception.
He made it a little exciting, right? Turned it into a trick catch, but he came down with the football.
Long injury attorneys. First down for Hunter Tillman. So that one in the air there, and he was battling with Matthew Lord. And up to the 35. They go again to Tillman. He steps out of bounds at the 37 as McGill with lots of fresh faces out there defensively.
Theodore trying to take advantage of it, moving the ball down the field. Something we hadn't seen all game, being methodical with it.
Some scores here. Davidson comes back now. They lead Murphy 24-14. St. Paul's big over Faith 35-7. Bayside 15-0 leading Flomaton last we heard. Blunt putting it on Gulf Shores 41-16. Andrews incomplete to Williams. Daphne continues to go 35-7, a win over Robertsdale. UMS big over Monroe County. Foley beats Baker 10-7. Foley and Theodore will match up next week down in Foley. Spanish Fort 42-6. They beat BC Rain. As you see, Leonard Gatson coming over from the defensive side of the ball in the backfield now. Andrews middle of the field, able to get Jordan O'Neal. And the big target, just his 7th catch of the year, but 6'3", 175.
Seems like they try to get him involved more often. That was a nice pass by the quarterback there on that little deep post there.
Baldwin County 18-8. They lead LaFleur. Boy, Baldwin County could. Ben Thomas wrote about it this week. And they could be on the outside looking in with a great year and not make the playoffs. Hunter Tillman can't hold on to this one. That long injury attorney's first down. And
yeah, Trevor drew the defense up by looking like he was going to run it, and sees this guy downfield and zings it out to him just when they able to hang on to him.
That pass got there in a hurry.
Second and 10 at the 42. Andrews pocket floats it out. Tillman gets behind his man, and it's overthrown. Wow, he snuck back there and got wide open, and
somehow he does that, huh?
He does.
Well, he's a kid you want on your team. It doesn't matter what you're playing, what you're doing.
He'll pick it up.
You think he was good at tag as a little kid?
He'll pick it. Yeah, he's probably like the state champion.
And Jim's gonna start recruiting him to enter some of those fishing rodeos.
I'd take him on my team right now.
Yeah,
he doesn't need a stinking rod. He probably dives down there until the fish get in.
I'd really take him on my team if he had that skill. 3rd and 10. Tillman's like, all right, I might be a little gassed on this one, Trevor. Trevor looks tipped and incomplete.
McGill trying to hold the fort with a lot of reserves in there.
And 4th down coming up with 1:57 to go. And they'll go for it here. This is a whole lot of orange around this football.
3-8 defense.
Here we go.
They bring some heat with that.
Andrews steps up in the pocket, fires, and complete to Fabian Williams, and he's got it in traffic for a long injury attorney's 1st down.
Nice job by Trevor and Fabian there executing that play. Bring that little curl, and the quarterback climbs the pocket, avoiding the rush.
On 4th down.
Zings it on in there.
Yep. That's 2 zings on this drive, according to Lockett's stat keeping.
Oh, yeah. Zing, zing.
Good catch by Williams after he got really bumped.
Andrews, far side, goes back to Williams. And again, another long injury attorney's 1st down to the 18. Pickup of 11.
And Trevor turning this into a pass skeleton drill. And someone take a timeout.
I think they're just getting the chains moved over there. Oh, no, they are going to get a timeout here.
They're going to stop the clock for purpose, I don't know.
I thought they were just moving the chains. That's it. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line here. And now we will get a timeout called for. 1:31 left here. It's the 13th play on this drive. Coming up here, more of our friends that bring you our UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44. Fusaklis. So long injury attorneys trying to bring us our 1st down every week here. And long, they live here. Their office is here. They go to church with you, go to school with you.
You could have did it, I will eat Fusaklis long and on time.
I mean, why am I even here on Fridays?
That's great.
I mean, we got Lockett. He's got it all under control, except for next Friday when he's sequestered. They feed you lunch and that's it. Lockett. No breakfast, no afternoon snack.
They're going to be locking me up. They won't find me.
They don't have the NFL Network piped in during the day.
Oh God,
you won't see the Thursday game. It's going to be a rough week for Lockett.
I want to be there when Lockett asks the judge if they're going to be making any s'mores.
1st and 10 at 27. I'm just saying, if you're an attorney, like, you want Vic Lockett on the jury, but honest guy you'll ever meet. This side nearly intercepted.
I may fudge the truth there, but I'm not getting any fudge.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 with 1:25 to go. So this will be the biggest loss of the year. If the score doesn't change for Theodore Bobcats again. So they could go win at Foley next week and maybe a little help get into the playoffs. Andrews looking incomplete. Is that one looking for Traylon Martin, I believe?
Well, he delivered and just wasn't connected on the back end there. Good clean pocket. He was under some.
Reese Jackson
trying to apply some heat.
Reese Jackson came in to break that one up at the last moment. Reese got a lot of playing time throughout the season. 3rd and 10. A lot of pride even on the second defense from McGill.
They
keep
called
out of the end zone.
They called a timeout.
Yep. Pressure coming, and they will wrap him up and drop Andrews back at the 27-yard line.
This time they were in there, and they got him.
Jacob Huff, one of the ones in there to make the stop. Asher Hogue also there.
Kind of met at the quarterback, huh?
They did.
And we'll get another timeout with 1:10 to go and 4th down coming up.
Theodore wants us to make certain that they get this thing just right.
And this McGill defense continuing to play spectacular. And Coastal Alabama Community College, another one of our sponsors here tonight on UTV 44. So our halftime show will obey Harley-Davidson. Harley's as low as $99 a month.
See a lot of the Harley Hogs tomorrow with our
yeah.
cruise for St. Jude as we leave the Eastern Shore Center, head to Floribama.
I want to see a picture of you riding a big Harley.
You got it. I'll get it to you. I'll tweet it at you.
Well, I'm not big on tweeting.
I got it.
Let me make sure I say that correctly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Jared.
Been down that road before. This one dumped out of the backfield. And not even back to the line of scrimmage. And McGill will be able to take a knee. And just look at this McGill defense. What they can continue to do. Last week, they gave up 6 in their win over Baker. And shut out Mary Montgomery. Gave up 7 to Blunt, 7 to Bryant, 13 to Foley, 14 to Murphy, 6 to Davidson, and 20 to Spanish. But they just don't give up any points.
No.
Going to be 9-0.
You know, they're complemented by special teams. They're complemented by an offense that can run and throw. That helps the defense out.
McGill played much better in the second half than we saw in the first half. Seemed to clean some things up there at the half.
Yeah, I think the weather contributed to their errors, as I said earlier, and then things sort of dried out a little bit, and then they just start. You get used to it once you go through the throttle in the beginning, and then after that, you just see that's how it's going to be, and you get settled down.
Yeah. Curious to get an update. You had 7A tonight. Hoover, number 2, taking a number 3, Thompson. Coach
Mark
Freeman used to be at Spanish Fort, has really turned that Thompson program around up there in Alabaster. And McGill comes out to take a knee with 12 in the huddle.
Make sure they don't score. You're going to give us a score on that Thompson-Hoover score?
Well, Vic, why don't you get on your Twitter and get it for me? I don't have it. I said, you know, it's a big game going on tonight.
Oh, okay. I thought you had the score.
Well, I do, but I'm not going to share it. That's how no, I don't have the score. If I had it, I would share it. I would share it if I did.
It's like him sharing those little spots he's got in the guff where he's.
Yeah, I would share a football score much faster than I would do.
He won't tell us where he's got those. What do they call those? Not reefs, but.
Yeah, they're kind of private reefs, Big Lockett.
Darn, he's got reefs, but I thought they were called something else. A little spot on the GPS. What do you call it?
Most of us call them reefs, private reefs or wrecks or whatever you like.
He
to
won't even get close to it, Dan. Can you hear me? I mean, it's like he works for the CIA.
I don't know what it's like.
I'm a witness to all of this.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's going to be on jury duty on all next
probably
week.
Blindfolds you before you get out there.
Depends on who you are. It does depend on who you are, Big Lockett. I'll be honest with it. We would for sure have a blindfold on you. As this one's about to wrap up. Next week, we'll be in Fairhope for the region championship. Fairhope playing in, you know, their biggest region game in a long time with a chance to win at McGill with now 25 straight region wins, 24 regular season wins in a row.
You're talking about a McGill team and program that has been at the highest level against a Fairhope team with Coach Tim Carter that, you know, there was been a couple of coaching changes there recently. They've been down.
A couple of tough years.
Even for Tim. And now they've ascended to a chance to wrestle away the championship of the region from McGill-Toolen.
And they got a chance to do it on their home field.
Yep.
Well,
what I'm
looking for is that game, the chess match between those two great coaches.
I agree.
Some strategy going on there, so strap on your chin strap and your seatbelt both.
And if you haven't seen the Fairhope team, that Fairhope team is very sound. I thought they were very physical in the game we saw them.
And you know what? I thought Coach Collier, he said it on the pregame show, he said, Fairhope and McGill are like almost mirror images of themselves.
Yep.
They're so technically sound. They don't beat themselves. Maybe don't blow you away with big playmakers all over the field. but they never seem to get in trouble, and that's what we'll watch next Friday night.
Exciting.
Can't wait. Haven't been to Fairhope in a couple of years, and I think it's been at least 3 years since we've been over in Fairhope, and can't wait to be there. So wait for Tara to get.
And I guess, Jim, you've secured some real estate over there to land that chopper and get us in there and play.
Not really. I think it's faster to drive from my house in Spanish Fort than take a chopper. Let's go down to Tara. She's got the victorious head coach. Tara.
Coach, once again, you outscored your opponents by double digits. Offensively, are you where you want to be going into the last game of the regular season?
No, we're not. We're never going to be satisfied. There's a lot of things that we can do better. Penalties right now is really, really hurting us. So, but we'll work on it next week, and then we're not going to worry about it right now. We're going to enjoy this win.
And defensively, you forced fumbles, had an interception, even blocked a punt. Talk about the defense and special teams' role in tonight's win.
Well, we work on that every day. We work on taking the ball away. We work on our special teams. That's where we live and die by. And, if we can do that, we can get takeaways and block punts on the punt team. We're actually going to put our offense in a better situation to score. And so that's all we try to do. We try to help our offense to, put them in a great short field and, be an easy score. If not a touchdown, it'll be a field goal.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. And Sheldon, of course, the rain caused problems for everyone tonight. How are you able to continually carry your team down the field and then, of course, take it in yourself for 6?
Yes, ma'am. It takes all 11 of us to do it, and I think Coach Golson, he trusted the O-line, and they handled it from there.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
McGill with the win tonight, 20-0 over Theodore. They make it 9-0 on the year, and we'll come back and wrap things up from the Lip after this on UTV 44. There you see our final score. McGill-Toolen stays perfect on the year. They win 20-0 over Theodore as McGill, perfect in the region, perfect overall, 7-0. Got an update for you, Vic Lockett. 25-24. Hoover leads Thompson right now with 6:54 to go in the fourth quarter in that one. So not surprised by the outcome tonight. I think McGill keeps rolling, and you just see McGill just keeps doing what McGill always seems to do.
I think, Theodore competed on defense. The weather may have made this game a little more methodical than McGill would probably want to be a little more explosive. I think Coach will express that.
Yeah, now, so you got Theodore going to try to get some help next week, going to try to win. And you got McGill playing in a big game against a Fairhope team that hasn't played in a game of this magnitude in quite a while.
Well, Theodore, they still got hope, so they're not lifeless at this point. So, they'll go back and have a good week of practice, try to build on what they've seen here, correct some mistakes, and move forward with their next game.
All right, let's give you our player of the game nominations. Brian Hill from McGill, also Sheldon Lehman, the quarterback, and Khalil Nettles, who played well tonight, especially on special teams, had that block punt. Go to UTV44.com. You can vote on your player of the game, and we'll tell you about it at halftime of our game next week. Final 20-0, McGill with a lead over Theodore, and we'll come back, finish things up for the Lip after this. Ernest Hill and his team perfect through 9 weeks, 9-0, 7-0. They'll try to win another region championship next week at Fairhope, a game we'll have right here on UTV 44. Hey, our crew, does such a great job. We're going to get a chance to thank so many of them. Andrew Dollison, our director, Mark Joseph, and Ed Smith do all of our great graphics. Liz Kai does our score box. She also does a lot of great things here. Jonathan Braswell on the replay. Raymond Wilson, Cole Cortez, our camera operators we have all season long. Rodney Middlebrooks, Vanya Kai, Jolette, Kyle Bland, Mike Dumas, Raymond Wilson, who just can't wait to get in the press box and start tearing things down. He's at the door right now. And Cole also works on the cameras. David Sharp did stats a few weeks, and he was banished. And then Daniel Hicks has been here and has done a great job since filling in and taking over. Autumn Jordan, our timeout coordinator. Chris Lott, who works on the sidelines as well. Daniel Dearborn, Tim Reed back at the station. Bill Couch, Mike Williamson. Raymond Wilson also sometimes works here and at the station simultaneously. I don't know how that happens. Charles Young in Master Control. Cherry Boone, also Chris Delaporte, our Director of Sales, and Bobby T, Bobby Toch, our general manager, he's also the executive producer of high school football, I think, since he's the one who says, yeah, you knuckleheads keep doing it every Friday night. We like that. Final
and on
score,
a night tonight, big ups to him through all the bad weather.
Yeah, and thanks to our crew. They do a great job, and you don't get to see their faces on TV, but they're here early. They stay late, and they bring you the great pictures every week. 20-0, our final score. McGill-Toolen with the win here tonight. We'll wrap up our season next week in Fairhope as Fairhope and McGill-Toolen play for a region championship right here on UTV 44.